Live, live, live. Everybody's live. Live. Can I have something cold to drink? Yeah, something a little sweet. Live, live, live. Here we go. Who's here tonight? Spanky. Spanky's in the house. Spanky, Spanky. Matty B. Oh, Matt W. What's going on? You can co-host. Yep, I got that one. Gabe, Matt, Rod, Sophie, Rizzo. What's happening? Chenergy. DJ Wolst. Tony Rodriguez. Tim Quill. What's going on? What's going on? Good evening, everyone. B20010. I have no idea what that means. Ooh, getting ready to get started this evening. Alrighty, alrighty. Jenny, what's going on? John, Jamie, Johnny Chambers, what's going on? PA Vibes, Christian, John, what's going on? Another lovely evening above ground. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Glasses, glasses, glasses. Oh, let's get rid of this thing. Let's get rid of that. And here we go. Do we want this one? No, do we want that one? That one. That one. That one. That one. And get rid of that. And go to that. And go to this. And go to that. And we are ready to go. I think, can we see that all good? Yep. Oh, wait a second. Uh-oh. Gotta get the channel down here rolling. Gotta get all the channels up and rolling. Here we go. Cancel that. Don't need that. Start streaming. There we go. There we go. And stop recording. That works. That works. Let's get rid of this. And there we go. Good evening. We're up and running. Derek, what's going on? Renovation Rod, what's happening? Lonzo. Derek, Cave In. I'm ready to listen, Coach. Derek, put me in, Coach. All right, Janelle. Good evening, Janelle. Hello, I am 64. I am looking for my son, Gunter Jr. Okay, thank you. Hi, is this my first time using YouTube? Well, cool. Good evening. How are you doing tonight? All right, anyway, let's get ready to roll. Chris, the Golden Law. Hey, Golden Law, back again. Cool beans. Ice cold dart nugget boy. All right, all right. Anyway, that being said, good evening, everyone. This is James. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, looking for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, I know 1% a week doesn't sound like a lot. 1% is like, why bother? Well, then why bother being here? Because 1% a week comes to 50% per year. Well, I can live very comfortably off of 50% per year. I can. Okay, so depending on how you value your time and your money, you figure out what's best for you. Well, for me, I didn't fit. It's like a round hole in a square peg, something like that. Square peg and a round hole. Whatever. However, that was me. I just didn't fit anywhere. Because I go to place. Hey, what does your retirement thing look like? What does your investment portfolio look like? What can I expect to get if I invest my money with you? Well, nobody gave me any good numbers that actually sounded good to me. I'm weird, I admit it. So, well, it is what it is. So that being said, I went and I looked at alternative ways of investing. So, and I found a couple interesting things that actually work. So fine. Why the hell not use it? Well, I've been using it for the past 15 years because it just worked. All right, so why not? So now people want me to share it, so I'm sharing. That's where we are. That's why we're here. Okay, so it is a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week strategy created for my 9-year-old daughter. I didn't realize it would turn into what it is today. But think about it. 9 years old, she said, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? I mean, think about it. Out of all things for a 9-year-old little girl to say, Daddy, can I get new shoes? Daddy, can I get a new brush? Daddy, can I get this? Daddy, can I get that? No, Daddy, can you teach me? Strange. But needless to say, I had to come up with a strategy specifically designed for a 9-year-old because most adults don't get this. Most adults don't understand it. And most adults usually get it wrong. So great, come up with a strategy for a 9-year-old. Had to be simple, self-explanatory, right? Safe, again, self-explanatory, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. Now, everybody always gets that last one, no way for her to lose. Well, if you're investing in companies that have been around for over 100 years, well, I like to think that based on 100 years of them doing whatever they're doing, well, maybe they'll be here long after I'm gone. So if I never sell, how can I possibly lose? I mean, think about it. If I buy something, regardless if it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, I never lose money until I agree in my own head, make the agreement in my own head to take a loss. And I refuse to take losses. Terribly sorry. I'll hold on to something for a long period of time just to avoid taking a loss. Sorry. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Wait a minute. Yeah, so anyway, so I have 5 rules. A 9-year-old came up with 5 criteria to come up with that strategy specifically for her. So 5 rules. Rule number 1, never, ever, ever buy anything unless you plan on holding it for the long term. Now, just in case it hits our target before, never ever sell it, fine, let it go. Because guess what? In another 90 days, it's going to come around again. And we're going to get into that a little bit later on, and I'll show you what I mean by it's going to come around again, because that's what they do. Anyway, that being said, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. 5 rules. Rule 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to long term. If you don't understand it, if you don't know who they are, what they do, and everything about that company, don't buy it. We're talking about your hard-earned money. If you're going to put your money, if I'm going to put my money somewhere, I want to make sure it's a good company. All right. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Defeats the purpose of the whole game. Think about it. Defeats the purpose. Yes, I know some people say there's lost opportunities. Well, there's always going to be lost opportunities. So if I buy something and it goes down and I refuse to take the loss, money's tied up. Well, it's still bringing me in something with the covered calls, and we'll get into that also a little bit later on. But think about it. If I buy something and intend to hold it for the rest of my life, I will never lose if I never agree to take a loss. And I always have money coming in every single week. Now, we're going to get about that also. Remember, simple, safe, predictable. Well, predictable, I want to make sure, rule number 3, rule number 3, make sure the company is consistently profitable. Now, the stock market's been around for over 400 years, so I don't think 2 decades of profitability is too much to ask. Now, we check every single week, and every single week we come to find out, hey, they added more companies. So this week, it's 10,340 and counting. Every week, they add more and more and more companies on the stock market that you can invest in. But I'm only interested in the ones that have 2 decades of a proven track record of being consistently profitable. That means if I take a look at that spreadsheet at the end of the year, the profit and loss statement, and says, hey, we made more money this year than we did last year. Yay! Guess what? As the years go by, that list gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Right now, it's down to about 300. Well, I can make a very nice living trading 300 shares of companies that are consistently profitable, because that just makes sense to me. Terribly sorry if you're here looking for a stock tip, something that's going to go from, here to out to the moon. You're in the wrong place. I'm not looking for that, and I'm not even going to address it, because that's not what I'm looking for at this point in my life. This point in my life, I'm 61. I need a safe, predictable, consistent weekly cash flow. Sorry, that's what I want. It's my life. I get to make my own rules. Isn't that weird? It's your life. You get to make your own rules. Well, my life, my rules is it's got to give me weekly cash flow. Because at the end of the week, all right, I spent that much money. Cool. What do I got to make next week? Fine. And it's a weekly goal. It keeps me going. It's like when you're retired, you wake up in the morning, what am I going to do today? Oh, yeah, I got nothing to do. So you got to come up with stuff. So this is one of those things to help me come up with. How do I balance my money? What can I come in this week? It's kind of fun. When you get here, take your time. Trust me. Don't be in a hurry to get here. Enjoy life where you are. Anyway, so let's keep on progressing. So rule number 4, weekly options only. I want weekly cash flow. The only way I'm going to get that is by having something that buys and sells on a weekly basis. Well, and that's the weekly stock option. Or two, sit in front of my computer, look at this stupid crap all day long. Yeah, no, thank you. Now, years ago, I do that, but not anymore. Now I want it simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and out the door in less than 5 or 10 minutes. Well, because there's only so much time. So, rule number 5, make sure all the numbers work. Now, you might be asking a whole bunch of different questions. So if you can do me a favor, make sure when you express your question, make it a question I can understand. I got 6 pages of questions in front of me. So yeah, I got 7 cameras going at the moment, which means questions, and more questions. So I will try my best to get to all the questions, but if you can, make the questions easy for me to read and understand. And don't make the assumption that I know what you're thinking, because I don't. So if you give me a good question, I can read it out loud and we can just keep on progressing. Cool beans? All righty. All right. Dave Van, what's going on? What do we have? Uh-oh. Hit that button and everything disappears. Anyway. Okay. Get my man a beer. Hey, Rizzo, thank you, sir. Derek, how are you? Ready to listen? Okay, hello. Got some, blah, 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 blah. Hello, yep. Hey there, I like your strategy. Thank you, Florida, Georgia, cross country. Ooh, just getting the day started. Let's keep on rolling. Okay, Joe, do I put 500 in VOO or 300 in VOO and 200 in QQQM? Now, Joe, I would love to give you a little tidbit of advice. Unfortunately, I would be doing you a disservice because a few things. Number one, I have no idea who you are, what trading strategy you know, what your risk factors are, what your goals are. I don't know absolutely anything. So for me to give you any type of advice whatsoever would be not well advised. Ooh, that's a good one. Not well advised. Okay? But my personal opinion, I wouldn't put money into either one of those because I have a different goal than you do. My goal is for cash flow, not for whatever it is they're offering you. And they're not offering you cash flow because I'm familiar with VOO. I'm not very familiar with QQQM. I've seen a lot of Qs, but never QQQM. But take a look at what are the dividends that they're offering. What have they offered in the past? How consistently are they increasing their profitability? Well, everybody's out for profitability. That's why businesses go into business in the first place. They come up with an idea, a service, a product, or whatever, and they go into business and then they blossom into what we have today. So what is VOO offering you on a yearly basis? QQQM, same question. What are they offering you based on historical performance? How did they do last year, the year before, the year before, the year before, the year before? Well, I'm looking for 2 decades of consistency in profitability. And neither one of those fit my criteria. But like I said, I have different goals than you do. I'm looking for cash flow. So I have no idea how old you are. If I knew that, there's a lot of questions that I don't know. So I really can't give you any advice. Education's always a good advice. Florida, Georgia, cross country, dividend kings and aristocrats. Good rules. Thank you, Derek. Excellent hobby for retirement. Yes. See, the sad part about it, it was a hobby. Now it's blossoming into something a little bit more than a hobby. All right. The real Kayla Martinez. Well, the real Kayla Martinez. Good evening. All right. What if you only trade options weekly with only adding $50 to the broker a week, invest SPY options? Okay. Interesting. I thought you had a good question, but all right. How are you doing with Dow? Ooh, let's take a look at Dow and actually give you my opinion on it, because I did buy some Dow today. I have a little bit different objectives. Uh-oh, it's ridiculous. SPYV, yeah. So, hold on. So, real Kayla Martinez, read what Florida Georgia Cross Country said, because this way I don't have to bash it at all. Someone else is. Take a look at the numbers and just what he said. All right, anyway, I do things simply. Remember, this is a trading strategy for a 9-year-old. Okay, so why am I, grandpa, teaching what I taught my 9-year-old to you guys? Well, first of all, it's simple, it's safe, it's predictable, it's consistent, and if you do it right, there's no way you can lose. I have to emphasize that. If you do it right, there's no way you can lose. Now, I have no control over who presses what button, who says what, who does what. I don't. But I just show you what I do, and if you agree with it, hey, great. Because the number one question I want you to walk away with is, does it make sense? That's it. And I can guarantee you one thing. I'm not going to ask you permission to sell you anything. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. We're all adults. We know how it works. Yeah, I've written books. I know all that crap. You know all that. So up in the bio, you go find it yourself. That's not what we're here for. We're here for fun education. And ask me questions, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing. 1% every week, which is pretty much over 50% per year. So that being said, we're on Dow, and we're going to go through it step by step. 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. So back up a little bit. Step 1 would be to come up with a list of stocks. As of this week, there's 10,340 companies. You got to figure out which ones you like. Find out which ones you like. Disregard everything else and just concentrate on the list that you like. Because there's so many different companies. 10,340, that's a lot. How do you choose which ones? Well, here it's pretty simple. Dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, and we're gonna sneak a peek over Warren Buffett's shoulder and see what he's got. Why not? Okay? So, that being said, let's move on forward and just take a look at Dow. I'm looking for, list number, all right, step 1, grab the list. Step 2, put that list into a calendar. Because you'll understand in a few minutes, but you take your list or however many stocks you like, put it into what's called an EX dividend calendar. Let's take a look at it right now. Now, this calendar is available on Charles Schwab. Okay, it's free to download. You can go to Google or whatever and just like EX dividend calendar. So you take the list of stocks you like, put it into the calendar, and the reason why is here. You ready? You ready for this? This is why you put it into a calendar. Because just before the company pays out a dividend, most of the time the stock increases in price. So by knowing that little tiny bit of information, along with the calendar, it tells you when you should be looking at the stock. Because look at this. There's 34. Whoops. Uh-oh. What? Why is that not working? Uh-oh. No. Something there, right? There it is, right there. Come on. There it is. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. August 2025. That's this month. This is today, right here, the 18th. 56 companies were paying a dividend today. Why is that important? It's not important at all. But 56 today. Look at this, like 30 tomorrow. Another 20, 30, another 20, 30, 36. That's over almost 250 companies just this week alone that are paying a dividend. Now, a dividend is a portion of the profits that the company makes. So if the company's profitable, They share their profits. Now, out of the 10,340 different companies, only about 5,500 actually pay out a dividend. So how many of them have increased that dividend? How many have been consistently profitable? Again, back to that list. Kings, aristocrats, champions, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So by knowing when they're paying out the dividend, the stock has a tendency to go up. By knowing when the stock's going to go up, it gives you a good idea of what stocks to buy. Because if the stock goes up just before the dividend, great. Now I'm going to show you a trading strategy that you can buy it and the stock doesn't have to move at all. And you get a nice little profit. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the odds and probabilities to be in my favor. Well, if we know a stock goes up in value before it pays a dividend, well, that's great. If I know when a stock is going to have its dividend, blah, 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 and there's a trading strategy that I can implement that is simple, safe, predictable, and consistent, all four, why wouldn't I? I know when it's going to move. I got a trading strategy that will be profitable 80% of the times because all options expire 80% of the times. 80% of all options expire worthless. So that means only 20% actually profitable. So by adding all these little tidbits of information together, we come up with this strategy, and hey, 1% a week really ain't that bad. Less than 10 minutes a day. So think of this for a second. 10 minutes a day, which is about an hour a week. Okay, 1 hour a week. So you take your account, whatever it is. Let's say you got 50,000. 1% of 50,000 is $500. So 10 minutes a day, an hour a week, means your time to learn this strategy. If your account is at $50,000, that's $500 an hour. That's what your time could be worth. Now, the older you get, okay, once you get to retirement age, you should pretty much have 6 digits. 100,000, 150, 125, 200, 500, whatever. But definitely over 100,000. Okay? Now, I don't want anyone to feel bad if you don't. I mean, it is what it is. We're all on our own separate journey. However, working 40 or 50 years of your life, making good decisions, and I don't judge anybody about whatever happened in the past. I don't really. But at time you want to retire, if you get 6 digits, great. Let's say you got 100,000. 1 hour of your time is $1,000 an hour. If you get 200,000, 1 hour of your time is worth $2,000 an hour. So 1% a week, it's not a lot, but then again, as you build around it, think about it. 1% a week, it takes me 10 minutes a day. Well, what is that? Well, spend less time picking out your outfit. Wake up a little earlier. Go to bed a little earlier. Who knows? Figure out. If you have pets, you feed them and water them every week. Well, if you have children, well, you make sure they're fed and you make sure they go to school. You make sure everything is. Well, why not spend 10 minutes of your day to figure out what's going on with your money? Because eventually you got 2 choices, and only 2 when it comes time to retirement. Do it yourself or give up the accountability and let someone else do it for you. Now, if you have enough to let someone else do it for you and still live comfortably, great. But if you were like me, I didn't have enough to let someone else take care of it, so I had to learn it myself. Great. 1% a week is perfectly fine for me. I make just enough, I make plenty to live a very comfortable life. Ooh. Let's keep progressing forward. All right, so step 1, create a list. Step 2, put it into calendar that tells you what to buy when. What and when. Because these stocks this week here, I could care less next week. Because next week, I got these stocks to take a look at. I'm looking to jump in on Monday and get out on Friday. Why? Because these stocks are predictable. They're boring. They do the same thing over and over and over again. They do. Every 90 days, they'll pay a dividend, which means the list here, this list here, is going to look the exact same in 90 days. That's the beauty of dividend investing, the dividend investing strategy, because every single company that's on this list pays every 90 days. And every 90 days, well, that's 1 quarter. April, May, June. January, February, March, that's first quarter. April, May, June, second quarter. June, July, August, third quarter, and October, November, December, fourth quarter. The first quarter of the year is the first week of the first quarter. Looks the exact same in the first quarter as it does in the second, as it does in the third, as it does in the fourth. They just keep, it's like a revolving door. Okay, go in, go out, go in, go out, go in, go. Anyway, I took all the odds and probabilities, put it in my favor to make sure that I'm consistently profitable because I got two goals. At this point in my life, I have two goals and only two. One, consistency of profitability, and two, preservation of my capital. That's it. I don't want to have to go back to work. If I go back to work, it's going to be by choice, not because of have to, necessity. That's a good one. I was going to say have-to-ativeness. That makes no sense at all, but hey, it sounded good in my head. All right, so let's get back to where we were. So step one, come up with a list. Step two, put it in the calendar. Step three, take a look at the 1 year chart. Why didn't that change? Huh, that's weird. That is definitely weird. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, come on. See, who says technology is wonderful, huh? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And what do? I went and got a new machine because it's supposed to be better. Touchscreen my ass. Come on. Restart. Reboot. All right, let's reboot the screen and see what happens. Anyway, let's take some questions while we're waiting. What if you only trade? Yeah, we already did that question. How am I doing on Dow? Oh, I just bought some new Dow. I did. I'll give it a minute. Okay. Cash flow and save from major crashes. Hey, I believe you there. Dave wants to take a look at Alcoa. Alcoa. Now it's connecting again. Mara, please. All right. See, now it's back to normal. All right. Oh, no. Okay, Alcoa. Okay, so Dave, we're going to take a look at Alcoa as soon as we finish up with Dow. So we're doing Dow first, though. Are you a millionaire? You look like a millionaire. Why does that matter? Holy cow, how much cocaine have I ingested today? Really? Can you grow up? That's stuff. No, I'm not even going to acknowledge that question. Okay, so anytime I look at a chart, I'm looking for 5 things, and it takes me 3 to 4 seconds to find out whether or not this company is a contender or not. Because there's way too many companies out there to decide which one makes the cut, which one doesn't. So the 5 things I'm looking for. Number 1 is the high. 2, the low. 3, where was it? 4, where is it? And 5, what's the direction? Sideways, down, up. Okay, it's not that difficult, and you should be able to see that within 3 to 4 seconds. High, low, was, is, yeah, there you go. 3 to 4 seconds. Once you figure that out, well, fine. I want to look at the numbers. Now, what I'm looking for first is the big number on the board. The big man on the block, right there, 23.24, 23.24, 23.24, 23.24. What do you think? It's there 5 times, so it's got to be the big board, the big number on the board, 23.25. The last price that was traded today. That's it. That number will go down in history. What did the stock close at on this day? That's it. The closing price of the day. That number will go down in history. Anyway, if I buy it for this price, the closest strike price is the 23.50 right there. And the 23.50 is paying out commission, premium, whatever you want to call it. It's cash to me. So let's call it 23.50. It is 36 cents. Now, I know 36 cents is not a lot, but you take that 36 and you multiply it by 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, it adds up. But it's not the amount you're collecting. It's not this amount. Hey, that's got very small amount, very small factor in the equation. Okay, this amount as compared to this amount. It's a comparison. It's a multiple. So we're looking to multiply, divide, all that kind of crap, all that fancy math stuff. It's a percentage. How much am I getting in a return for this measly little 36 cents? It depends on how you look at that 36 cents. So let's get the calculator out, and I'll show you how to look at that 36 cents just a little bit differently. And you might think, holy cow, 36 cents on a $23 stock? Hell yeah. Should be excited about that. Let's see why. Calculator. Taking the measly little 36 cents. Now, we're going to take that 36 cents and we're dividing it by the purchase price of the stock. All right, and that is the big number on the board, 23.24. Divided by 23.24 comes up with a grand total of 1.54. Okay, why is that important? Well, 1.54 would be your rate of return for 4 days. Think about that. 4 days, rate of return, 1.54. Well, let's just call it 1 week because there's 5 days in a week. Because the option expires on Friday, which means, all right, 5 days. All right, so anyway, 1.5% for 1 week. Let's multiply that by 52 because there's 52 weeks in a year. That is 80%. When is the last time you got an 80% return on a very safe trade? A predictable, safe trade, and consistent, because we could do it every single week. That's why I want weekly option. Weekly, that means it happens every week, 52 times a year. And if I can get 1.5% every single week, well, at the end of the year, that's almost 80%. Can you imagine that, 80% at the end of the year? So what else can we look at? Well, that's just Dow. Dow's been around for over 100 years. You have to ask that question. Do I like this company? Am I willing to buy it? Am I willing to do a covered call? Now, what's the beauty of the covered call? Let's do one. I'll show you what it looks like, and I'll explain it as we do it. That way you can see, and then you can ask that big, huge question. Does it make sense? Let's find out. Let's get rid of that. All right, so Dow is at right now 23.24. So let's do the 23.50. See what it looks like. I'm going to change this to the covered stock. And the 23.50 right here. There it is. Now, one thing I really like about Thinkorswim, that's this trading platform. Okay, if you're going to trade stocks, you have to decide where you want to go shopping. Because think about it. Okay, you got 7-Eleven, you got Quick Stop, Quickie Mart, the Circle K, Angelo's, D'Angelo's, Publix, Winn-Dixie, Kroger, Stop and Shop, Piggly Wiggly, all these places. To do what? To go and get a gallon of milk. Well, guess what? You can go to Fidelity, you can go to E-Trade, you can go to Charles Schwab, you can go to Charles Schwab. Yeah, you can go to, oh my goodness, Robinhood. Any trading platform. It's the exact same thing. You're walking through the front door and you're buying the same thing. So if you want to buy Dow, gallon of milk, you can go anywhere to buy it. You can go to Fidelity, you can go to E-Trade, you can go to Robinhood, you can go to Thinkorswim. but it's always buying the exact same thing, the exact same gallon of milk. Same thing. You're just going someplace else. Now, I like Think or Swim. Like you might like Quickie Mart, Quick Stop, Stop and Shop, 7-Eleven, whatever. Wherever you go to get your stuff. I go get my stuff on Think or Swim. I've been doing it for 20 years. Okay, 15 years ago, I wrote a book, choosing the right trading platform. Well, during that search, I searched a lot of them. I came up with this one here that I like because it had everything I'm looking for. So, let's walk through it. All right? The stock is currently at 23.24. Closest strike price is 23.50 right there. So I'm going to buy the stock at this price here, sell this right here, collect this right there, and see what kind of rate of return I can get for this week. Because remember, I'm looking for 1%. So there's still a lot of questions. So as we progress, the questions will be answered. Okay, so here's the order right here. I always encourage people to read it out loud. Make sure it sounds right. Buy one covered call on Dow 100, that's the weeklies, 22 August 25, that's this coming Friday. The $23.50 call option against the Dow stock at the market to open to open. Okay, to open, that means I'm buying the stock, that gets sent to New York. I'm selling the option, that order gets sent to Chicago. 2 orders to open to open. Great. Remember I said predictable? I know what my profit's going to be before the stock even moves this single penny. I don't have to do anything. And I know exactly what my profit's going to be. Pretty much close to it. Okay, because the numbers change all the time, but it is pretty much close to it. So if $64 is my profit on one contract, and one contract is $2,200, well, let's call it 23. What is that rate of return? Well, let's take out the calculator. Calculator tells me that $64 profit, remember, right here, maximum profit, divide that by the initial investment, divide that by 22.86. Okay, that's this right here. Cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 22.86. Well, that gives me a rate of return for 1 week, 2.799. Let's call it 2.8. It's close to 3%. So if 1% a week can get you a 50% rate of return, 2% a week gives you over 100% return. Now that's doubling your money every year. Now, there's a few more tricks, trades, and a few more, obstacles and whatnot you might want to know. Okay, so let's take it one step at a time. Okay, so 2 things. 1, I buy the stock at the current price. 2, I sell somebody a call option contract. Okay, it's called a covered call or a buy right. There's a lot of different names for it, but it's called a covered call. If you have any questions about it, there are literally hundreds of videos about the covered call on YouTube, online. A lot of people do them. Now, remember I said simple? Well, it's one of the easiest strategies there are. You're buying the stock, you're selling it to someone else. Duh, that's easy. I'm buying it and I'm going to sell it to someone else. But I'm selling them the right to buy it only for 1 week. Hey, you want to buy it from me? Great. If it hits this price, you're going to buy it from me, right? Good. I will hold it for you. But for me to hold it for you, I want you to pay me a premium. And the premium is this right here. Think about it. Okay? If I buy something for $100 and you say, hey, get me one, so, oh, great, you can have mine for $100. I'll hold it for you for a week. But for that privilege, I want you to pay me, grease my palm. There you go. That's a good one. Grease my palm a little bit. It's kind of the same thing. Kind of. It's like, oh, here's another way of looking at it. Say you have a car sitting in the yard. Pull it out front, slap the for sale sign on it. Someone comes by, say, hey, take this couple thousand, hold it for me till Friday. If I want it on Friday, I'll come back and I'll pick it up. If I don't, you keep that money, sell it to someone else next week. But I have the right to buy it this week. So next week, you sell someone else the right to buy it from you next week. And then the week after, and the week after, and the week after. Every single week. All depends on what is the market maker offering me. If I buy it for this price here, sell it for this price here, the market maker is offering me this right here. And it just so happens to come out mathematically to 2.79% just for this week. And then if it doesn't happen, I do it again next week. And guess what? I do it again the week after. Well, guess what? I brush my teeth every day, every week. So I wash my hair every day, every week, over and over. It's just another thing to do today. Part of my day. Wake up, brush my teeth, grab some coffee, have some breakfast, take a look at my money. That's it. 5 to 10 minutes. Once you get it, once you understand it, boom, 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 it takes you 5 or 10 minutes. That's it. Why can't you commit to 5 or 10 minutes? Remember when you first learned to tie your shoes? I was like, no, I can't get it. The bunny hole through the loop, down under, hide what? Pull the in. It took time and effort to understand it, to get it right. Well, now you can do it with your eyes closed. But this is the same thing. Anything worth learning, well, is going to take a little bit of time. So take a little bit of time. Understand what you're doing. Okay, you got 2 choices and only 2. Do it yourself, give up accountability, let someone else do it for you. Let's progress forward. All right, so that was Dow. And yeah, I did buy some Dow this morning, and no, that is not a tip, and no, that is not a suggestion. That's just an observation. Hey, I did buy some Dow this morning. All right, back to single, back to here, and let's grab some more questions. Does getting called away on a down position get recorded as a loss? Kevo, it really depends on all the different factors. Okay, Kevo, you've been here for a while. So if I buy a stock, right, and then I sell an option against it, and then it comes time for expiration, and I roll it into a next week, and I roll it into a next week. How long have I rolled it, and how long have I owned it? So what did I buy it for? What did I collect? Okay, and what is the difference between what I paid for it, what I sold it for, and all the premiums I've collected along the way? What are those numbers? When you see those numbers, you'll know whether or not it's a loss or a profit. Jen Pinka. We'll take a look at Marin a little bit. Hold that thought. Grod. Tobester, what's going on? Bobby Green. Jab. Reem Riza Collect. That's a weird name. No offense. Oh, short PLTR. Okay. Why? Why would I want to look at PLTR in the first place? They haven't been around that long. FSLR. Didn't we take a look at FSLR already? I think we did. FSLR. First Solar. Interesting. Definitely interesting. However, you're a little late to the party. The jump was today and yesterday. Take a look at that. Okay. Previous bottom, high, back down again, then she shoots up. Yeah, you're too late to the parade on that one. Jen Pinka wants to take a look at Mara. Now, I do own some Mara. Okay, interesting. Now, anytime I look at a stock, I'm looking for those 5 things. And how long did it take you to see it? You know you saw it. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Up, down, up, down. You saw the motion. It's easy. 3 to 4 seconds. It's all it take you. Okay, now, what's the big number on the board? 1609, 1609, 1609, 1609. So 1609, the 16s are going for 49 cents. Now, 49 cents shouldn't thrill you, but 49 cents on a $16 stock, well, that should. What is that, 3%? 3% is like 150% per year. Well, you had a couple of questions to ask. Number one, do I like Mara? Number two, do I like Mera at this current price? Well, let's take a closer look at it. A year ago, we're at 16.34. The high of the year, $30. The low of the year, 10. Now let's stop for 1 second. I need you to somewhere upstairs in your head come to the conclusion, am I okay at buying something at $30? Knowing that there's a possibility that it can drop to $10. Can I do that and not lose my cool? Can I do that and not sell it? Because a lot of people will be tempted to sell. Take the loss, move on. Not me. I'll ride that sucker all the way down to nothingness. I refuse to take a loss. Because see, what you're missing is that even if I bought it here, now I don't believe Mara has dividends. I don't know. Okay? But if it paid dividends, I know I'm getting a higher dividend every year, so I really wouldn't worry about that too much. I also wouldn't worry about not much because I wouldn't be looking at it unless it was a weekly optionable stock, which means even though the stock dropping, I can still write covered calls every 7 days, even as the stock is falling. Because every single thing I own has a weekly option attached to it. No matter how big or how small that premium is going to be. Just take a look. At the money, it's 49 cents, which is about 3%. Okay, one strike out of the money is 27, which is just a tiny bit less than 2%. Okay, then you got two strikes out, 14. 7, 4, 2, 1. So no matter how low the stock goes, I still have an opportunity of bringing something in. And every once in a while, you are going to bring in less than 1%. You see, there's some weeks where I'll get 8%. 1 week this year, I got, I think, 9%. It's like, holy cow, that's a lot for 1 week. For what I do, because I'm not an aggressive trader. I do my trades on Monday, and then I'm done on Friday. And no, I don't maintain them all week. I just peek at them. Say, okay, what are you guys doing? You behaving? Are you going out? What are you doing? I just look at them. What are they doing? Okay, but for what I do, 9% is a lot. And there are weeks where I get 0.5%. So I think this year, 4 or 5 times. I think maybe 5 times I didn't hit 1% 1 week. Now remember, I get 7 different accounts. I share 3 of them publicly. So you got to see 3 of my accounts miss the 1% more than 4 times. Okay, so more than 4 times I did miss my 1%. But I do have some weeks that are over 4, 5, and 6%, which kind of makes up for it. So as long as I'm getting 1% or more every single week, I'm perfectly fine. Okay? Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me, Argentina. All right, so that's the motion of the ocean here. Up, down, up, down. What's going on here? It looks like it found the bottom here. Now it's turning around. That's what it looks like. Well, great. That's a good sign for the first 2 or 3, 4 seconds that we're looking at it. Next, we want to look at the big number on the board, 1609. The 16's going for 49. That's close. That's over 3%. So that's a yes. So now I want to take a deeper dive into the chart to see whether or not it is the right time to buy. Because for me, I can't look at the 1-year chart and say, yeah, it's the right time to buy. Because 99% of all of that is historical information. Doesn't do me any good, except for the last week, the last 5 or 6 days. Because the last 5 or 6 days, or let's say the last 30 days, gives me a good idea what you and me are doing. Because you and me, we are the buyers, we are the sellers. We are the ones that create this mess. Okay, Wall Street just opens up the door and says, come on in, show us your money. Who's buying, who's selling? That's about it. We rush in, we buy, we sell, we create the high of the day, we create the low of the day, and we create the close of the day. We do that. We also create the volume of the day and the range of the day. There's only one number. You take a look. Date, opening price, high price, low price, closing, range, and volume. Every number but one is controlled by us, the investors. There's only one number that is out of our control. And one person has that control. That, my friends, is the market maker. He opens the door. He draws a line in the sand. He says, here's your opening price. Let the games begin, so to speak. Okay? So today, the opening price was 15.26, right there. The high of the day was 16.35, right there. And the close of the day is 16.09, right there. How many shares traded today? Well, that number is 50,673,000 and change. Those are all created by us, except for the opening price. That's the market maker's job. So we decide what's too much. We decide what's not enough. We decide how many. We decide lots of stuff. So by knowing all these facts, how do you arrange them so it best suits you? Odds and probabilities in your favor. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put the odds and probabilities in my favor so that I'm consistently profitable. Because remember, I got two goals: consistency of profitability and preservation of my capital. That's my goals. All right. Anyway, so that's Mara. So let's take a look at it. We already did trade on Mara, didn't we? No, we didn't. Let's take a trade on Mara, see what it looks like. Let's get rid of this. Let's change this to that. And look at the 16 right there. And we can only do one contract. So one contract right there at the market. Now, the reason why I change it from a limit order to a market order, let me explain the difference. Okay? A limit order is kind of like going to a flea market and say, hey, I'll give you $1 for that. That's it. It means you're telling them what you want. Market orders, I'll take it for wherever it is. Now, for me, I'm at that point where I really don't quibble about the pennies anymore. I say, that's the price, good, give it to me. But also, a market order, I buy the stock and I sell the option at the exact same price, and they're tied together. That means I know what my profit's going to be ahead of time. If you do limit orders, there is a possibility where your order can stay on the market maker's computer all day long and not get filled. Okay, I don't use limit orders unless I am selling something, not when I'm buying. When I'm buying, give it to me now, because I'm past the point where I'm counting pennies. My goal is 1%. Whether I get the 1% out of the top, when I say out of the top, out of the middle, or out of the bottom, I really don't care. Okay, because there's a slice of pie, I just want one tiny slice of that. The rest of it can go to whoever. I want the consistency and I want the predictability for this tiny little weird niche that I came up with. 1% a week, it works for me. So let's keep on going. Buy one covered call, Mara 100 weeklies, 22 August. That's this Friday. The $16 call, Mara market, blah 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 blah. Here's the profit, 42.50. Here's the investment, 15.58. Let's do the math. Calculator. Let's clear that. Profit is 42.50. 42.50 divided by the investment, 15.58. 15.58. And that comes to a grand total of 2.7%. Well, 2.7%, we know that's over 100% return by the end of the year if you can consistently get 2.7% every week. Can you? Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Depends on how much time and effort you want to put into it. More time, more effort equals more profits. Okay, me, I'm perfectly okay with 1%, 5-10 minutes. 5-10 minutes, 1%, I'm good. And then I go about my day. I can make a lot more sitting in front of my computer. But guess what? At that time, I'm trading my time for money, and it no longer becomes a hobby. Okay, it becomes an obligation. Oh, ooh, that word. Anyway, let's keep on going. So next, what do we want to look at next? That was Mara. Ruben, hey James, this is Ruben from Morning Session. I did not get the link for this morning and wanted to make sure to get Tuesday's link. Oh, Ruben, let me check into that one. Thanks for pointing that out. All right, let's get out of here. Get out of there, get out of there, get out of here, get out of there. La, 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 la. Okay, so next, what do we have here? Can you speak Arabic? No, I can't. Are you in a school? No, I am not. Let's keep on going. Mara, Jeff, what's going on? Mama, good evening. Aripachi, what's going on? B-Rad Daddy, woohoo! How's CMG? Uh-oh, let's take a look at CMG for B-Rad Daddy. CMG, Chipotle. I did buy Chipotle once. No, I don't normally because they don't have dividends, but the premiums were just so ridiculous and the chart just looked crazy. It was like, it's like a slap in the face, like, whoa, wake up, here it is right here. Then everything looked so perfect. So we jumped in, grabbed 4% for 2 weeks, 4% and 4% again. Then we jumped out of that one. We got somebody in here making noise. Okay. All right. Sorry, I got a live chat over there going. So every once in a while I do bend the rules, but very, very seldomly. And it has to be something so obnoxiously positive. I mean, it's when you see it, you'll know. Seriously. Because I'm all about safety and predictability. So Chipotle, yeah, it's a household, well, almost a household name nowadays. And everything just looks so good going that direction. Now, I normally don't even look at it. So let's see what he has to say about it. Here's your high. Here's your low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up. Bottom is right here, and it's bouncing off that bottom. How can you go wrong? Okay, the bottom of the year only comes once a year, and you cannot buy any lower than the low of the year. Well, that was, a week or so ago? Well, let's take a closer look at it. But before we do, is it even worth our time and effort? Before we even look deeper at the chart, I mean, yeah, it looks good here. Is it worth our while? So, big number on the board, 43.38. Okay, 43.38 to 43.50 right there, and it's going for 53 cents, which is more than 1%. How do I get that so quick? Well, if the stock price is $43, 1% of $43 is 43 cents. Isn't that weird? $43, 43 cents. Okay, 1% of $43 is 43 cents. 1% of $57 is 57 cents. It's actually that easy. Remember, it was created for a 9-year-old, so it had to be simple. Okay, honey, what is 1% of 43? It's 43. Okay, so they're actually offering 43.50 to 53 cents, which is 10 cents more than 1%. Okay, yeah, great. So now let's take a deeper dive into the chart because the chart looks good, the numbers look good. Now, next step is to take a deeper dive. A year ago, Chipotle's at 52. The high of the year, which was in the second week of December, at 66.86. And then the bottom of the year just recently. Look at the last 30 days. Okay, here's the last 30 days. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Drop, down, up. Come on. Well, I'm going to draw it again. You ready? 30 days ago. Here's your bottom. Now it's going back up again. Your bottom's right there last week. The bottom of the year. You can't get any lower than the low of the year, and that was last week. Okay, you make most of your money in the stock market buying low, selling high. Well, if it was right here last week, now it's slowly going up. Look where your 30-day high is, way up here. You got a long way to go before we even get close to the previous 30-day high. Oh, great. Well, if I buy it at this current price, okay, and I sell this right here, I can collect this right here. Well, that's what I'm looking for. And then it always goes back to that first question. Does it make sense? Do I like Chipotle? Do I like Chipotle at this current price? Am I willing to buy it, hold it for the rest of my life, or until it hits my target? Well, what's my target? Well, if I'm buying it at 43.38, my target is 43.50, which is what? 12 cents away? So I'm going to hold it for the rest of my life to gain 12 cents. Well, how long is it going to take to hit 12 cents? Well, by judging by the chart here, it looks like it should hit it this week or next week. So hypothetically speaking, I'll be back out and back into all cash again Monday or the following Monday. So I'll get that nice 1% this week. If I got to roll it into next week, well, that's another 1%. And if I got to roll it again, well, that's another one. 1% every single week, over and over and over and over again. I'm sorry, it just made sense to me. Okay, anyway, next. Oh, wait a second. Did we do it? No, we didn't even do it yet. So let's do it. 43.50. $43.50, one contract. There it is at the market. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call CMG 100, 22 August, 43.50 call option against the stock to open. Here's the profit, 63. Here's the investment, 4,200. Whoa. Well, let's dive in deeper. Let's get the calculator. What is the calculator telling me? 63 bucks divided by 42.87 comes to a grand total of 1.46. Well, 1.4, well, that's over the 1% we're looking for. That makes sense, right? And if I can get 1% or 1.4% every week, that's over 50% per year, as long as it makes sense. Question. Omar Daw loves to sell options. Parkeris, holy cow, I haven't seen you in a while. So K-Van wants to take a look at Kimberly Clark. Nice. Clorox, that's a monthly, that's going to be a no. And KHC, which is Kraft Heinz. Another good one. Jesse, have you ever bought an option at the close, held and experienced wild swings, stating a higher mark the next day, open? No. Even if I have, I didn't write it down to, solidify it in history. So if I did, I don't remember. So I've been trading for over 30 years, so I don't remember each and every thing I've done. Okay, what other questions do we have? Heath, long-term FNMA for pre-IPO. I don't do IPOs. You on TikTok too? Mustang, how are you today? Mustang 71. Oh, that's a cool way of putting that one. Valentina, good evening. Steve Sauce, good evening. Tompina. Good, all right. Donnie, what's going on, Donnie? Joe. Heath, safe is Bitcoin. Terribly sorry, dude. I'm going to have to disagree. Okay, Bitcoin has not been around for more than 20 years, and Bitcoin doesn't have any products behind it. Okay, so it is just an agreement, a wink, and a nod from somebody from across the world. Okay, that's all Bitcoin is at the moment. Until it is backed by something, the only value it has is an agreement between you and a bunch of strangers. Maybe that might be a good thing. I don't know. Keeps everyone honest. Maybe. Oh, Soothsayer, Johnson and Johnson. Dylan made 2% on Riot today. Dylan, let's take a look at Riot for a second. I used to have Riot a couple of weeks ago. I got rid of it. Riot. R-I-O-T. Interesting. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. Got a gap down here. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, yeah. Let's take a look at that. But before we do, does it make financial sense to do so? Big number on the board, 1232. The 1250s are going for 34, which is just a smidge below 3%. What's wrong with 3%? A little bit less than 3%, but still. Okay. So, a year ago, Riot's at $8. Shoots all the way up to $15.98 back in November. Well, from there, she finds the bottom of the year in the third week of April, 612. So can you imagine that? Going from 16 down to 6? That's more than a 50% drop. Are you okay with that? You have to be okay with it. If you're going to play this game, you have to be prepared to stick with anything you buy. Remember rule 1? Never buy something unless you are prepared to hold it to the day you die. Okay, why put your money into something that you're not really committed to? So, up, down, up, down, up. Pretty simple, right? The numbers. Yeah, so let's actually take a look a little deeper into the chart and see, is it the right time to buy Riot? Okay, year ago, 8, bottomed out at 620. We're sitting at 1232. The last 30 days looked a little bit like this. Check it out. Here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up. Well, it's going up. Argue all you want. It depends on what you're looking at. Is it going up? Well, the bottom's here. It's going up. It is what it is. So, if we like it where it is, 1232, the 1250s, let's see what it looks like. Let's get rid of that. $12.50 right there. Let's just do one. That way you understand what one looks like, and that way you know, well, I can afford 5. I can afford 73. Well, however much you can. Okay? Because we're all different. Did you see that? Seriously, did you see it? I hit the wrong button. Didn't I say most people hit the wrong button at some point? I just did. And I didn't know. I did not do it on purpose. No, it was not staged. Okay, so yeah, I hit the wrong stupid button. All right, one contract at the market. Confirm and send. Instead of hitting confirm and send, I hit delete. Hit the wrong button. See, it happens. Okay, buy one, covered call Riot. 22 August. That's this Friday. The 1250 call against the stock to market. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Here's the profit, 59.50. The investment is $11.91. It's like $1,200 to make $60. Does that sound like a good investment? Well, how much time and effort are you putting into it? So it depends on comparison and context. Okay, some of those words, well, they actually change the meaning. Because 1%, well, what's the context? Well, 1% a year is crappy. 1% a month that's okay. 1% a week, yeah, I'm good with it. It's all in the context. So, $59, it's not a lot of money. I admit that, it's not. And that's just for one contract. Well, let's say you can get 1,000 of them. Well, then it becomes a little bit more money. But what does it represent? Think about that. You're taking whatever money you have. You're making an investment. $1,191. What a return are you getting at over what period of time based on the amount of time you're putting into it? So put the math problem together. You're making 59 bucks, 60 bucks on a $1,200 investment that takes you maybe 5 minutes to implement. Okay? And then you check on it 5 or 10 minutes a day. Tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, until Friday comes along. So you made 60 bucks for 5 minutes of your time, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Or 5, yeah, 4 days. Because tomorrow's Tuesday. You already missed Monday. So to make 60 bucks for the next 4 days can take you 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes a day. Well, that's about an hour. One contract, your hour of your time is worth 60 bucks. Well, if you can get 10 of them, that's 600 bucks. Well, your 1 hour of your time, well, that's 600 bucks an hour. Context. How are you comparing the information I'm giving you? Well, 1% sucks. 1% a year sucks. 1% a month, not so glamorous. 1% a week, well, that's better. Context. What are you comparing it to? What are you doing with your money? Are you putting it someplace safe? Are you investing it into a company that is consistently profitable, that has historical performance behind it? Okay, let me get off my soapbox and move on. All right, so let's do the math on this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. $59.50 profit, $11.91 is the investment. Comes to a grand total of 4.99% for 4 days. But the big question, do I like Riot? Is this a company I can see myself holding for a long period of time, or until it hits my target? Well, what's my target? My target is $12.50. Well, what's it at now? It's at $12.25. It could hit that $12.50 by this Friday. It could hit it by next Friday. It can hit it by Christmas. It can hit it never. It's always a possibility. So anytime you invest in anything, remember, it's always a 50-50 shot. You get up in the morning, it's either going up or it's going down. One or the other. What was that, Blondie? One way or another. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get that money from you. I'm going to, okay, whatever. All right, so that being said, I'm going to write that one down. Nice. Nice. All right, so what else we have to take a look at? K-Van wants to take a look at Kimberly Clark, KMB. Here we go. KMB. No, not this week. Don't get me wrong, I love Kimberly Clark. They are a dividend king, which means they're over 100 years old and they have 5 decades or more of consistent profitability. So why did I say no so quickly? This right here. Let's zoom into it and I'll show you. Remember, I'm looking for 5 things. High, low, where was it, where is it, and what's it doing? Down, up, down, up, down. This right here, well, that's this week. That's the last couple of weeks. That's what's happening now. It's coming down now. So let's zoom in. Okay? Okay, 30-day bottom right here in the beginning of August shoots up. Now it's coming down. So as much as I like it, I'm saying no this week. But I am going to write it down for, I want to say 2 weeks from today. KMB. All right, so KMB in 2 weeks. Sounds good. Clorox, K-Van, I'm pretty sure Clorox, CLX, is a monthly. Yeah, it is. See, I don't do monthlies. September, October, December, January, April, January. Yeah, I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work for me. Okay? I look at it once or twice a week because there's always somebody saying, "Oh, why don't they work? Can't you explain them?" I love to answer questions. I really do. But I'm answering the same one over and over again. When I say the numbers just don't work, please don't ask me to make an example and show you that they just don't work. All right, anyway, next. KHC, Kraft, Heinz, no. Same thing. Okay, right here. It's in a downward trend. Simple to see. It's not no, it's just like not this week. Okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? So not this week, maybe. Now, see, I'm going to say next week for Kraft Heinz because look where the bottom is right here. Look how close we are. There is a possibility that next week this could be ripe for the picking. It's a dividend king. They've been around for over 100 years. Well, why the hell not, you know? KHC. Next. All right. Omar Daw loves selling options. Cool beans. Brian wants to take a look at UPS. UPS. Brian wants to take a look at UPS. The ups dudes. No. Same reason. Take a look at the last couple of days. Okay? Last couple of days. Down, up, down. So, no. Wasn't that quick? Don't get me wrong. I love UPS. It's just no for this week. Maybe next week or the week after. Are you still trapped in WBA? Brian, no. We got rid of Walgreens a long time ago. Elijah, favorite dividend stock? That would be Macy's. I just hopped on for the first time. Tyler, how you doing? Derek, can you look at SKYW? Why? Why? SKYW. SKYW. No. How's that? I don't do monthlies. Now, remember I said rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand? If you don't understand it, why are you looking at it? Why are you asking me to take a look at it? Okay? So I don't do monthlies. It says up here, weekly options only. I just don't do monthly because the numbers just don't work. They just don't. Sorry. PPCB was crazy today. Patrick, what is PPCB? PPCB. Hell no. All right. Yep. Brian, Dow went from 60 to 20. It's okay. Thank you there, Lawrence. Good way to invest. Thank you, Pakaris. If the stock drops and your call doesn't get exercised, do another call lower? As long as it makes sense financially, yes. T. Tucker, I am getting better than that. Jolly good. No one wants to do covered calls, especially financial advisors. All righty. My whole business is covered calls. Awesome. Tucker, we should chat. Okay, send me a number. We'll do that. Bored, I don't need a car. Funny thing is, it's like I have a conversion van because I do a lot of traveling. So my conversion van in the back, it's a nice comfortable bed. And it has a closet in the bathroom. And it's just like a regular conversion van. Okay, driving down the road, you wouldn't know there's a bed, a bathroom, and a closet in it. Okay, so I travel a lot. I haven't traveled in that thing in over 9 months. And it's like, I'm itching to go for a ride somewhere. Anyway, so I very rarely go anywhere nowadays. Because now that I'm retired, I really don't go anywhere except to go see the kids, which are only an hour away. Fastest no I've ever seen on PP. Okay, I have no idea. I don't do crypto. Thank you, Dylan. Look at FLR. No, I don't do crypto. Literally made 8 times my salary 3 times now every 4 years. You do realize that makes no sense. So what is the first step to investing? Sorry, just got here. You know what? To save on everybody else, I start the whole thing every single day. So come back tomorrow, 9 p.m., and go from the beginning to the end. Because right now, we're kind of like in the middle. We've already figured out where we are, why we are. We're just looking at new possibilities. So the who, where, why, and when, that already came and went. All right, next. But what if the stock drops? Because the stocks always drop. Lonzo, what's going on? Dude, do you do leaps? Dump option trading. Okay, yes, I do. Is this a recording? Well, see, there's a difference because it comes down to context again. Because there's recording, record ed, and recording. Okay, so it's strange. Okay, let's look at it this way. At this moment in time, it is exactly 9:57 p.m., 8/18/2025. It is in the process of being recorded. So tomorrow, if you're watching it, it will be a recording. Okay, so it's live at the moment. It's not a recording yet, but tomorrow it will be. How do you roll using Think or Swim? Ted, it's a simple process. Whatever stock you're on, you right click, take your cursor, right click, create rolling order, and then you read what the rolling order is. When the rolling order tells you what you're doing, you're buying back one, selling another, and it tells you what it's going to offer you. You either take it or you say, no thanks, it's not enough. Next. Monica, how are you today? Ripa Chi, what's happening? Copy, hey, the dude actually said, copy Dividend Stock Talk. So the dude copying all my content is actually here. So just to give you full warning, there are a whole bunch of people pretending to be me. And this one, he at least showing up saying, hey, I'm here letting you know I'm poaching some of your people. Can't stop him, but I can block him. But, hopefully he's passing along the word and helping people out rather than ripping people off. So if you're just going to take the content and share it and, make money off of it, great, but don't rip people off. All right, anyway. Your copy trading makes it easy. Thank you. Patrick wants to take a look at QQQQ. You seem like a great teacher. Glad to be part of this. All right. Now, I'm going to apologize for you now. To you now. Sorry. I'm going to apologize to you now. Okay, you're on YouTube. There are a lot of people on YouTube that make stupid comments that basically waste my time, waste our time, looking at the childish comments that they make. So I don't pay that much attention to YouTube as I would like to. See, now TikTok allows me to set parameters on what people can say and what they can't say. That makes it a lot easier. But YouTube, I don't know how to use it yet. So I don't pay that much attention to it. But I'm glad you're paying attention. Sir, I ask a question. Absolutely, go ahead. You have to ask it while I'm looking because the questions go by so fast. Will Bitcoin be the answer to UBI? That I don't do Bitcoin, don't know, don't care. It's not one of those things I pay attention to. Oh, Vin Porter. Ooh, I am trying to moderate today. Thank you, Dylan. So we have another troll on our hands. I'm going to get to the troll in a second because I'm looking at some of these questions he's asking. B-Rad Daddy, cool. What do we have here? Okay, Drezik, I don't do NVIDIA, okay? NVIDIA only pays 1 penny per share. And if you take a look at how consistently profitable NVIDIA is. Take a look at what the cash flow is as compared to how many shares. It's called revenue per share. And then take a look at the book value. What is the actual value of the company? If the federal court, the Supreme Court says you need to divest and you need to pay off all your investors, well, guess what you're getting? I believe it's right around sorry, I think it's like $3.66 per share. So you're paying close to $200 a share. But if they have to liquidate, you only get $3 a share. Well, that's the book value. Once they sell off everything they own and they pay back all the investors, that's all you're getting back. Take a look at the profitability, how consistently profitable they are. I don't do NVIDIA. Okay, so what do I think about the Fed meeting tomorrow? I don't even pay attention to it. Okay, so the stocks that I'm looking at have 2 decades of profitability, which means, well, they've been profitable for the last 20 years. And there has been a lot of ups and downs and turmoil in the market in the last 20 years. So I really don't pay attention to the Fed crap. I don't. Because I'm looking at companies that are consistently profitable regardless of all the crap that's been going at us. Okay? All right. Maji, is it affect? I have no idea what that means. Gripafine, I'm running the wheel strategy on Myra. That's an excellent idea. DJ D Nice, how far out are you buying contracts? Okay, so DJ, I don't buy options, I only sell them. Joshua, I'm in Halliburton. Besides Riot, I sold. Dustin, he has many videos that are all basically saying the same thing. Yep, you're absolutely right. What Fed meeting tomorrow? They don't do anything till mid-September. Kingston, we already looked at UPS. All right. Vin. Vin says, is this a fake account? Okay, this is a scammer using a fake account playing replays. This is fake, people. Okay, so Vin thinks this is fake. Yeah, Vin, there's nothing wrong with that at all. You can think whatever you want. I didn't even realize this isn't the real 10-minute trader. Thanks, Drezek, abandoning ship on me. Also, once they cut, the timer starts. Bottom falls out 3 months later. No idea what that means. Heather's new here. Hi, Heather. How you doing? Hamish, can you say hi to my friend Josh? Vinport, blah, 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 blah. Hamish, I don't do that, Hamish, but thank you. Drezek, good evening. Wyatt, how do you feel about Forex? No, I don't do Forex trading. Sorry. Silence, how you doing? DJ Nice, Edward, Schrader, same thing as the dollar. I'm not quite sure, Schrader, what you're talking about. Is this the Thinkorswim platform? Yes, this is the Thinkorswim platform. You're guaranteed 20% over how long? 1 year, okay? 20% a year. Ted, yes, this is Thinkorswim. Okay, indeed, I do daily, not waiting. Okay. Manipulation, what is that? Uh-oh, I missed the question. I'm going to go back. Okay. Oh, I do daily, not waiting. Manipulation dumping. Okay, thank you. Do you take time of an earnings report before taking a trade? Nope. Will you please look at Target? Premium is high. Well, let's take a look at Target. See, all that talking and only one person wanted to take a look at something. All right, well, let's take a gander at Target. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Sideways, down, up, down. Very slight upward trend, but it is going to the upside. Very slowly, very predictably. It's at 104.95. Well, the 105 is up for 470. That's a 4% trade. Do the math in your head. The stock's at 104. Let's call it 105 because it's 104.95. So we'll call that 105. It's at 105 and the premium at 105 is $4.70. That, my friends, is over 4%. I'm kind of excited about a 4% trade for 4 days because Monday's already gone. These numbers are for tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, well, yeah, a 4% trade for a week. Well, it's always going to come down to those 5 3 or 4 questions. Okay, number 1, does it make sense? Number 2, do I like this stock? Number 3, am I willing to buy it, hold it until it hits my target? Well, what's my target? My target is 105. What's the stock price right now? 495. And it's in an upward trend. Well, I don't know about you, but those are odds and probabilities going in my favor. Now, I want to do a trading strategy that is simple, safe, and predictable. Again, a lot of these, now there may be 1 or 2 odds that are not in my favor. Well, I don't know what those are, and I'm not going to pay attention to them because I like saying on the positive side, yep, my dad says I live in a fantasy world where everything's sunshine and flowers. Well, it's my world. Can't I create it the way I want to? That's what I tell him. He said, it's a fantasy world. I said, yeah, Dad, absolutely. My fantasy world is happy, joyful, and sunshine, and everybody loves each other. Well, great, that's my fantasy world. This is where I live. Terribly sorry. He doesn't live in that world. He lives in his world, and he's okay with that. Fine. Is what it is. We're all on our own path. Okay, I'm just trying to make you see there's a possibility that the financial stress can be alleviated if you know a certain thing about money that other people don't know. Now, this is not for everyone. As a matter of fact, this is pretty damn boring. It's repetitive, it's consistent, it's time consuming, 10 or 15 minutes a day. Oh, what a tragedy. But here's the thing, it's predictable and it's consistent and it's easy. It's less than 10 minutes a day. So less than 10. See, when you get to my age, okay, when you're ready to retire and you have enough money to retire, think about it, whatever amount you have, okay, take the decimal point over 2 places. That's the possibility on a weekly basis. So if you got 50 grand, well, 50 grand, that's $500 a week, every single week. And then if you don't touch it, it's going to compound and get bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to a point where 1% on a weekly basis takes care of almost all of your monthly bills. And at that time, a huge burden is lifted off your shoulder because money is no longer that much of a pressing issue. Again, Matt Thorney, he doesn't do crypto. Thank you. Boy. Netflix, NFLX. Wait a second. We're looking at Target. Hold that thought on Netflix. Let's finish up with Target. All right. So everything looks good so far. Let's zoom in a little closer. The high of the year was a year ago, 167. Well, look what the bottom is, 87. Hold on a second. 167 down to 87. That's almost a 50% drop. Is this really a game you want to play? Think about it. The high, 170. The low, 86. That is a 50% drop. But you know what doesn't drop? Well, if I buy the stock here, and you buy the stock here, and they're paying a $2 dividend, guess what? I'm getting the exact same dividend you're getting. And if I never sell it, guess what? Next year, I'll still be getting $2 for every dividend. The year after that, more than likely, because this company has 5 decades of increased dividends. Next year, the dividends are going to be higher. The year after that, the dividends are going to be higher. So guess what? Even if I bought it here, and it's here now, I didn't lose anything until I make the conscious decision to sell for less than what I paid for it. Then and only then have I lost money. Okay? Because it's not a profit until you take it. Just the same as it's not a loss unless you take it. So you have a lot more control than you think you do. So number one, never invest in a stock you don't like. If you don't understand, don't buy it. If you don't want to hold it for the rest of your life, don't buy it. Target is a dividend king. Whether you agree with him, whether you like him, is totally irrelevant. Okay, your feelings about this company are totally irrelevant. They're over 100 years old. That's a fact. They have consistently increased their profits for more than 5 consecutive decades. That's a fact. Okay, so do the numbers work? Is it going my favor? Just because it was here, drops 50%, well, now it's going up here. Can I still make money off of it? Yes, I can. Okay, take a look at the numbers. What is it offering me? The 105 is going for 480. The 106 is going for 420. The 107 is going for 375. Well, every single one of those is more than 2 or 3% a week. That's for this week. It might be different next week, but this week it's over 3 or 4%. So hell yeah, let's take a look. Okay, last 30 days. Okay, what do you think? Take a look. 104 drops to 102, shoots up to 109, drops to 99, shoots up to 108, drops to 102. Now it's going back up again. See? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Come on, 9 years old. It was created for a 9-year-old. I could show that to my 9-year-old daughter. Which way is it going? Down, up, down, up, down, up. Oh, you want to see how it makes it easier? Watch this. You're going to love this. Go here to style. There. How's that? You really can't mess that up. Red is down, green is up. Red is down, green is up. Red is down, green is up. Red down, green up. Red down, green up. You can't mess that up. I mean, come on. That's what it looks like. That's a line chart. Find out what works for you. Okay, if you don't like the bar chart, here's a bar chart. A little different. Everybody has their own preference. I like the candles. I like the bars. I like them all. To me, it's no big difference. I'm looking at the overall picture. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All look the same to me, all going the same direction. All righty? So, that being said, it's in an upward trend, 104. Let's see what it looks like. Let's get rid of this. Let's go to covered calls. Let's do the 105s. Okay, one contract at the market. Here we go. And confirm and send. Here's Johnny. Buy one, covered call target 100. That's the weeklies, 22 August. That's this coming Friday. The 105 call option against the stock at the market to open, blah, 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 blah. Profit 475, investment 10. Well, let's get the calculator out. What does that mean? I'm going to show you something real crazy. You're going to love this one. I says calculator. Okay, profit 475. The investment on this particular scenario, $10,025. Comes to a grand total of 4.7% for 4 days. Count that out, 4 days, 4.7%. Does it make sense? Do I like target? What's my target? Well, it's at 495. It's at 104.95. My target's 105. It's 5 cents off. So if I don't make it this week, maybe I'll make it next week. Maybe the week after. Maybe the week after. Well, am I okay with buying it at 104.95 and holding on to it for the rest of my life? It may never hit 105. Am I okay with that? That's these questions you need to ask yourself because it is a possibility. Gerb, who is this? Gerb, you're showing up at my place asking me who it is. Why no monthly? Oh, no. Dump options. You've been here before, dude. I'm not gonna fall into that one. I believe you. Yeah, that's funny. Macy's. We don't like the down or wait for it at the bottom. I bought Riot. Target earning call. Open door. Ah, okay. LOL. Stocks for fun. I bought Kingston Companies Incorporated. Never heard of them. I've been selling options for 5 years. Cool beans. That is why. Okay, Patrick, whatever you said got rejected. Okay. Mo, thanks for that, Mo. All right, Rely, Mara or Hood. You are real. Hey, Sweet Den, thank you. Sweet Den, you and I have had a conversation before. You know I'm real. All right. This is for covered calls, which X100 stock shares. Everything is reading backwards. Thoughts on CrowdStrike? CrowdStrike hasn't been around for long enough. Chilled H2O. Do I care about earnings? No, I don't. Do you care about earnings? No, we already talked about it. Do you think S&P 500 will get 70,000? If so, do you think a 50% drop will happen? Interesting questions. Don't know, don't care. It's not what I'm focused on. I've been selling covered calls for 23 years. What happens if the stocks go at or beyond the at-the-money price of the stock calls? Okay, so David, I appreciate the comments, really do. Okay, I trade on a weekly basis. It means I do my buying on Monday, do my selling on Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just look at it, see what it's doing. Kind of like a hall monitor. Okay, we just kind of like observe and don't interact, kind of. Okay, if we need to intervene, then we do. We take a look every day. What are they doing? What should I do, if anything at all? Those kind of things. But for the most part, yeah, it works out nicely. Alex, that's not even funny. Actually, should you self-teach yourself, focus on fibs, and also study Elliott waves? You can if you want. I like it simple. Text is backwards on the screen. Got it. I care about earnings. Why the hell would you not? Adam, let me see if I can explain it to you in a manner in which you will understand. You care about earnings. Great. I could care less about earnings. Seriously, care less about earnings. My main objective is the company consistently profitable. Did they make more this year than they did last year? How many years can they do that? Well, I'm looking for companies that have done it for 20 years. Earnings could care less. Did they make more money this year than last year? Okay, it could be the same thing, but context, the way you're saying it sounds like one thing when it's not. Profitability is what I'm looking for. Is the company profitable? Do they have weekly options? That's it. Patrick wants to take a look at Altria. Bro, it's not me, it's the stream. Reed, I have no idea what that means. All right. These are the old people who spend their whole lives living paycheck to paycheck, not saving for retirement, then start trading. Okay, big bro, how are you today? Now, I'm not quite sure if I should be insulted by that or not. All right, thank you, Dylan. Kasem, McDonald's or PM, Philip Morris? Well, let's take a gander. Ooh, remember I told you this? No, I won't. All right, next. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of this. Let's go right to here we go. Here I come to save the day. All right, Lewis, we already did Mara. And no, we're not going to look at Robinhood because Robinhood has not been around for 20 years yet, and they don't have dividends. All righty. Okay, so Kason wants to take a look at Mickey D's. M-C-D. Mickey D's. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to say no. Isn't that weird? Interesting. I'm going to say no for this week. Okay? It's an upward trend right here. Why would I buy at the 30-day high? Let's zoom into it a little bit closer so you can see. Okay? Here's the bottom here. Okay, I'm not riding the same wave as everyone else. I'm not getting on the tip of the wave, say, hey, push over, make room for me, and we'll go someplace we've never been before. Because it's never been at the 320 at this time frame. So I don't want to be the one leading the charge, so to speak. So I would like to buy here, or here. After it goes up, then it comes down, goes up, then it comes down, goes up, then it comes down. I don't want to buy at the top. So Mickey D's, no. And Hood, I don't do Hood. Kaysen, Philip Morris, PM. Philip Morris. Ooh, now that's an interesting one. Okay, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's actually in an upward trend at the moment after pulling off high of the year. High of the year came down, now she's up, pulling back right there. It's in a good place. What do the numbers look like? The big number on the board, 166.60. The 167 is going for 120. So just because this looks good, okay, just because this looks good, this doesn't. Just because the chart's telling me it's the right time to buy, it's not enough profit there for me. That's less than 1%. As much as I like the company, as old as it is, even though they have historical performance saying they are a good company, it's just not financially enticing enough for me to do it. Okay, nah. He doesn't know how to flip. Okay. I would rather invest my young years, and when I'm old, I can retire with $2 million. Big bro, that sounds like an excellent idea. It does, really. Okay? I have no idea how old you are. I'm 61. I've had an exciting life. I've done a lot of things. I've been a lot of places. Okay? I've seen a lot of stuff. Now I'm at that point in my life where I feel compelled to share some of the knowledge that I know. So I've been doing this for 15 years. I just started to invite other people to watch over my shoulder. Okay? And this is what it's turning into. So it is what it is. You want to watch? Fine. Great. Let's keep on going. Anthony, any thoughts on Webull? Now, Anthony, I can't give you a good thought on Webull. I know absolutely nothing about it other than it is a mobile trading app you can download onto your phone. That's about all I know about it. Okay? They have some pretty nifty perks when you join. Enticements. Bribes. Ooh, that's a good word. Bribes. Anyway, so let's keep on going. Patrick wants to take a look at Altria. Altria. Nope. Wasn't that quick? Don't get me wrong. I love Altria. I really do. They are a dividend king. They've been profitable for more than 5 decades, but it's not the right time. The right time was right about here. Then it shot up. Okay, Altria is one of those stocks that I do watch on a consistent basis. I just didn't see this one. Or I had my money prior invested in something else. I don't catch everything. I don't miss it. I mean, I miss a lot, but I'm still consistent in what I do. So let's keep on going. Lisa, good evening, Lisa. Big Bro. Big Bro is saying something. I'm not quite sure what he's complaining about. He knows it's the truth. I know what's the truth, or who knows what's the truth. Did you check UPS? Yes, we did check out UPS. Ooh, what about Abbott? Wait a minute, ABT. Is that Abbott Labs? We'll check that after we do wait a minute. We said no to Altria. So Abbott Labs, ABT. Interesting. Same thing. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Sideways, up, sideways, down, up, down, up. Okay, so it's in an upward trend at the moment. So let's zoom into that. But before we do, does it make financial sense? 130, the 130 is going for 140, the 131 is going for 92. Wait a second. Hold the phone. No, because it's going for 130.27. Okay, do the math with me for a second. 130.27. That means if I sell the 130s, I'm losing 27 cents. So I can take that 27 cents off of this. And when I do, it brings it down to $1.13. So $1.13 is not quite 1%. So even though I do like Abbott Labs, and I do, okay, it's just not this week. Sorry, numbers just don't work. Chilled H2O. Do you care about earnings? No, I don't. Target. Where look at Target. Do you care if the earnings reports come? No, I don't. Pow Noob. I'm trying to buy into Amazon. Do you think it will have a dip coming up? AMZN. AMZ 231. Well, take a look at the numbers. Okay, seriously, take a look. Here's the high of the year, 240. Here's the low, 160. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the movement. Up, down, up, down, up. So it's in an upward trend at the moment. But if this is the high of the year here, what happens when it hits the high of the year? Is it going to turn around and come back down again? Well, that's what they normally do. They go up until they're done, and then they go down until they're done. And then they go up until they're done, and then they do the same thing. Up, down, up, down. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. Up, down, up, down. That's it. Okay, so last 30 days, what do you think? Take a look. Okay, up, big drop, up. And what's going on here? It looks like it's slowed down. Now it's coming back down because today is lower than yesterday. A lower high and a lower low. So could this be, see here's bottom here, the run up here, now it's pulling back? Could be. Do the numbers. 212 to 234 is a $22 increase. A $22 increase on a $212 stock is over 10%. 10% right there. Okay, 10% profit taking, now it's coming down. So, just by the way the numbers look, that's the way it looks. Is that guaranteed? No, it's just a guess, an uneducated guess. I finished high school, I didn't go to college, but I do know that's going up, now it's coming back down again. You don't need to be a rocket scientist for this. It was created for a 9-year-old. Okay, I got a 5-year-old grandson. Says, Papa G, the top's right there. Papa G, the bottom's right there. Look, it goes up, then it comes down, then it goes up again. Not that difficult. Even a 5-year-old can see that. Next, let's go. What do we have next? Ooh, Lisa wants to take a look at Comcast, CMCSA. Ooh, take a look at that. Did you see it? Ooh, right here. Take a look at that. Bottom of the year, right there. Now she's bouncing off the bottom. Okay. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Does it make sense? Is that what it looks like? What's the big number on the board? 33.43, 33.43, 33.43, 33.43. I don't know. What do you think? 33.43. Great. What's the closest strike price? 33.43, 33.50. It's selling for 31. Smidge below 1%. Are you okay with it? That's a big question. Comcast has been around since 1964. They have over 60 million clients paying them every single month. That's a lot of income. Let's keep on going. All right. A year ago, 40. The high of the year, the end of October, 45. Now from 45, she drops to the bottom right there. Take a look at the last 30. Okay, here's the last 30. Up, down, up, down, up. See? Going up. Now, from 31 to 33, that's $2. Not quite 10%. What is that, 7% maybe? Okay, from here to here, it's only 7%. Do the math. It's all in context. $2 on a $30 stock is only about 7%. Okay, great. What does it mean? It means it's in an upward trend. It's right here. Here's your bottom. Here's your top. A lot of space to keep going. No, it's not a tip. No, it's not a recommendation. It's an observation. Okay, here's the numbers. Okay, here's the chart. Tells you exactly what's what. Now, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be looking at the 3350. So let's see what the 3350 looks like on Comcast. Let's get rid of this. Let's go right here. Bring it to covered stock. 3350 right there. Okay, one contract right there at the market right there. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call, Comcast 100, 22 August, 3350 call option against the stock, get the market to open. Here's the profit, 40 bucks, 3300 is the investment. Let's see what the numbers look like. Okay, calculator, $40.50 divided by $3,310. 1.2%. It makes the cut, right? If I'm looking for 1%, Comcast is 1.2. Well, that's more than 50% per the year, isn't it? But the same questions. Do I like Comcast? What's my target? Am I willing to hold it? Is it a simple trade? Yes, 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 and yes. Next. La, la, la. All right, chilled H2O. Do you care about earnings? No, I don't. Do I care about? That's like, how many times are you going to ask that question? Target, please. We already looked at target. I don't care about the earnings. Okay, Home Depot. Oh, TD USA. Let's say you have 100,000. How many dividend stocks do we invest in? Now, TD USA, I don't tell anybody what to do. The only thing I can do is tell you what I do or what I would do. So with 100,000, I'd probably get 5 or 6 stocks. That's about it. Anywhere between 17 to 20%. So it's 17, 17, 17, 17, 16 times, 6 times, or 20%, 20%, 20%. Felix, this is a fake account. Felix, why would you say that? Felix, you've been here before. Okay. Dan B, Home Depot. Let's take a look at Home Depot. Let's get out of that. Let's go there. Let's go right here. Let's go right there. And let's put in, what are we looking at this time? Home Depot. Home Depot is the place for me. Anyway. No. Look at that right there. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit, Dan. Okay, look at that last run, Dan, right here. Okay, you got a bottom here at 350. She shoots up to 410. Now she's coming back down again. Okay, nice shoot up. Now it's profit taken, and the profit taken will take as long as it takes, which means it's going to come down until it's done coming down. Plain and simple. Oops, missed some of those questions. Angie Gossett, how are you today? Brad, what's going on? AMG. Mike Corbett. TD, thank you. You're welcome. What we buying and selling tonight? Oh, nope, I don't know. What about HL? What, the hockey league? HL, what the hell is HL? HL. Helsia. No. Okay, I don't buy at the high. Sorry. User 1550793 blah 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 wants to take a look at Southwest Airlines. Take a look. Okay, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Take a look at this. Up, down, up, down, up. It's in an upward trend after a 30-day top. Well, that's a great setup. Let's take a deeper look. Current price, 31.31. The 31s are going for 64. Even the 31.50s are going for 38. So either one of those is great. Now, I would do the 31 because it's a safer trade. Me, I prefer safety over profitability because unlike some of you, I don't have the luxury of being wrong. Okay, think about it. When you're retired and you don't punch that time clock anymore, you have left chances of making up for mistakes. Because of whatever I have to make sure it's invested safely. So we'll see how things progress. So far, they're going rather well this year and last year. All right, so 31 at this moment. 31s are going for 64, 31, okay, right there. So let's take a closer look. Need the glasses for that. A year ago, 26.66. Shoots up, pulls back, finds the bottom right there in April, 23.85. Now from 23.85, it shoots up to the high of the year, which was just recently, the 17th, which was just about a month ago. Okay, so about a month ago, here's the high of the year. Then she drops to here, and now she's shooting back up again. It going up. It's at 31.31. Let's see what the numbers look like. 31.50s right there. Whoops, let's change this. Covered right there. The 31.50s right there. And just one contract. Market, and here's Johnny. Here we go. Buy one covered call, LUV 100s, 22 August, 31.50 at the market to open. 59 and 3,000. So let's check that out. If $59 per contract is the profit, what's the rate of return for the week? Calculator. Clear that, $59 divided by the investment, $3,091, and grand total of 1.9. That's just a tiny bit below 2%. Now, if 1% a week is 50% or more a year, what's 1.9? That's close to 100% per year. Think about it. How would you like to, get 50% per year or 100% per year? Double your money every year. That's kind of unheard of. It's a simple, safe, predictable trading strategy created for my 9-year-old daughter. Okay, in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter said, "Daddy, what are you doing?" Oh, wait a second. You guys haven't seen the princess. Some of you haven't seen her. Hold on. We're going to go over to YouTube and show you the princess. Not really the princess. This is my daughter. All right. So, come on. Let's go. There it is. 2 live right there. And we want to do videos. Oldest videos. And here's the princess.
That looks like a pony, which has your identity as you being part of life that looks like a pony, which my dad would put on that.
That's what I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks that I'll be trading, and every month you'll be getting 4 lists of stocks that you can choose from that will help you get the best return on your money. List number 1.
And there's me, 15 years ago.
21 days in the month of March. What does that mean? That means every single day you can buy a different stock. Every single day there's a different.
Here's my favorite part. Yeah! That's my favorite part. All right, so think of it this way. Okay, in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter says, "Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me?" So I had to create a trading strategy specifically for her. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. 5 rules. Rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand or you don't want to hold on to long term. Number 2, never sell at a loss. Number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Number 4, weekly options only. Number 5, make sure the numbers work. We went over at least 5 or 6 different examples this evening. The number 1 question I want you to walk away with is, does it make sense? Never buy a stock that's not profitable. Does that make sense? Never sell at a loss. Does that make sense? Weekly options only. I want weekly cash flow. Does that make sense? Every single week, make sure it's a weekly option so you can do it every single week. Does that make it sounds so silly and so ridiculous? Does it make sense? It's either a yes or a no. Do you have 5 or 10 minutes a day? Most people spend more time planning their weekend barbecue than they do on their personal finances. It's a sad situation because we are the only species on this planet that's got to pay to live here. And however much money you have is going to be directly related to what kind of lifestyle you're going to live when you do retire. So what do you want that to look like? How much money do you need? How much do you have at the moment? What do you need to do to get to that level? Level up, what does that mean? Well, if I'm here, well, the grass is greener on the other side. I want to get to the other side. But when you get to the other side, well, this grass is greener on the other side. Guess what? There's always going to be someone who has more money than you. There's always another set of people to hang out with that make more money than you. Always. There's only one person who's going to make the most. And do you really want to be like that? So the questions are very simple. Does it make sense? Do I like these companies? Let's get out of this. So yeah, I had to make it fun, exciting, and entertaining for my 9-year-old. We don't need to see that. Let's go back to here, and here we go, and get out of that, and get out of that, and get out of this, and get out of this, and back to here. Here we go. Alrighty, so any thoughts on Weeble? We already did that one. Sweet Den. Funny. Math Boss. I think you are the real deal. Thank you. Everyone is asleep. Terribly sorry about that, Math. Mikey Day. Would you invest in ULTY? Bishop, no, I wouldn't personally. You really got to take a look at how consistently profitable are they? What have they done last year and the year before and the year before and the year before? Are they consistently profitable? To me, that's a very important question. Okay, now we're all on our own path. I have no idea what it is you want. Open book, I tell you what I want. I even show you my losses because I do have I think I got like 5 losses this year, which if you think about it, it's not bad because we're in week number 34. 34. There's 52 weeks in the year and we're in week 34. And I only have about 5 losses for the year. Well, that's not that bad if you think about it. Let's keep on keeping on. Mike in love, NOV. Well, let's take a look at it. K-Van loves boring. So it will drop soon. Pete, I'm not sure if you were here earlier. So Pete, when I asked Pete if they're gonna make a comment, can you give me a complete thought? So it will drop soon. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what it is and how soon we're talking. So what are we talking about, Pete? Target, black swan at earnings. Yeah, most of the time. You gotta watch out for those black swans on Target. Because I think I saw it like 6 or 7 times. I got caught in one of them. I think I lost like $20,000 in 1 week because of a black swan with Target. The stock jumped like $16 overnight. $16, just black swan, 16 bucks, black swan. Yeah, I had to pay $16 wait a minute. Yeah, $16 a share for over 1,000 shares. It may have been more, it might have been 15 or something like that. But it hurt, I'll tell you that much. But it's part of the game. And then somebody taught me how to roll an option. So now that I know how to roll an option, it has never happened to me since. Because even when scenarios happen that you're out of control, you have the ability to roll it into another week. It's like to put off the problem. Maybe it will correct itself. Well, had I known, okay, eventually it did correct itself. And I did have to carry it for longer than I wanted to in order to make up for that loss. All right, anyway, let's go. Let's keep on keeping on. Next, Nico, how do you know when it's time to take a profit? Okay, Nico, I say this to everybody. okay? It's not a profit until you take it, okay? Whatever the profit is, you buy something, it goes up, okay? You get two choices. It can keep going up, or it can stop going up. There's no third choice. It's either going to keep going up or it's not. All right? So your profit is going to get bigger or it's not. Okay? And when the or it's not comes, is it going to be fast and abrupt or is it going to be slow tapering? Okay? So profit, it's not a profit until you take it. The size of the profit is going to be 100% dependent on your choice. Me, I'm pretty much clean, cut, and dry. 1%, boom, I'm gone. I'm not greedy. Okay, I got that done and over with a long time ago. I'll take my 1 or 2%, be a happy camper. See you later. You always said avoid target before earnings. Yeah, I did. I do avoid target before earnings because I've got burned by target before. What's the ticker you are looking at? LUV. It's called Southwest Airlines. Ooh, we got 15 minutes left. All right, we already looked at Home Depot. There are smart traders and not so smart traders. Thanks, Sweet Den. TMC, the metals company. Ooh, let's take a look at that one. TMC. Too much candy. TMC. Too much candy. Here we go. Nope. How you like that one? I shouldn't say no, okay? But I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is, do you see this right here? Less than $1. Was that 50 cents back in December? 50 cents back in December. How can you possibly tell me this thing has 2 decades, 20 years of increased profits if this thing's at 50 cents in December? Sorry. Tracy Young, Trung. Tracy, good evening. BBAI. What the hell is that? BBAI. Same thing. Okay, if this thing's $1 last year, how can you honestly tell me that it has 2 decades of profitability? Dan, we are looked at Home Depot. Do you do TSLO? Actually, believe it or not, I do have TSLL. I actually have some of it right now. TSLL. Okay, there it is right there. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, sideways. 1251. The 1250 is going for 45. That is over 3%. Well, yeah, it's over 3%. Why wouldn't I want it? Think of it that way. Why wouldn't I want it if it's over 3%? Okay, so let's take a gander. A year ago, you need the glasses for this one, $10. The high of the year, 41. Now I'm going to stop there for a second and point it out. A year ago, $10. Shoots up to 41. That is a 300% increase. 300% increase. What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, big drop. Of course. Now it's going sideways. Well, we're here now, so let's take a closer look at here. Okay? All right. Here's the bottom right there in April. First week in April, $6.30. From $6.30, she jumps up to almost 17, which is almost a 200% increase. That's a big jump. Back down, back up, back down, back up, back up, back down. Okay, so it's on its way down at the moment. Does it make sense to jump in? Okay, here's where we are at the moment. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's plain to see, it's on its way down now. So if I like TSL, I would take a look at it and keep my eye on it to see what is it doing next. All right, that's going to be the last one for the day. Now, last 10 to 15 minutes, let's just answer some questions. So what kind of questions do we have? Let's take a look. All right, here we go. Comfy now. All right, what do we have for questions? Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're welcome. CMG, take a look tomorrow. Are you watching Ethereum? No. Eric, Navia, Newsmax. You got to give me the ticker symbol. We'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. Early Sun, how you doing? Gooberfish, back again, huh? Jay Cully. Okay, Jay Cully, how are you today? Do you only trade on the daily chart? Well, what else is there to look at? I don't know about you, but my days go by one day at a time. So daily makes sense to me. All right. I'm new, Diego. Que pasa, amigo? ¿Cómo está? Doing the math. Can you look at S&P? Okay, Nick, we'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. Diego, hope I get a good explanation on how to start. Diego, my best advice is keep showing up. Keep asking questions. The key to a good quality life is a good quality question. You ask a good question, you get a good answer. You ask a great question, you'll get a great answer. You ask an unbelievably awesome question, you'll get an unbelievably awesome answer. The higher quality of questions you ask, the higher quality of life you're going to get. But make sure you're asking someone who can answer it for you. Okay, Eric, Newsmax. I asked you once or a few times. I need the ticker symbol. Okay, I don't trade Newsmax, so I don't know what the ticker symbol is. Lewis, MP. What the heck is MP? What's the chart range and candlestick size you're looking at? The chart range and candlestick size I'm looking at. Nico, the chart that I'm looking at is self-generated by Think or Swim. Okay? If I'm looking at the 1 year chart, okay? Let's go back all the way to the beginning. Okay? So if I'm looking at the 1 year chart, Think or Swim or the trading platform sets the parameters on the chart. This is one whole year, 266 trading days. Okay, there's 266 trading days in 1 year. This is all of them. Here's the high, here's the low. Here's where it was a year ago, here's where it is now. These is 1 day at a time, all the trading days throughout the year. It is self-generated. When I go to the last 90 days, well, now it resets to the last 90 days. Okay, the numbers on the side, the dates on the end, and the movement, all self-generated by what I'm looking at. So the 1 year chart, 90-day chart, 30-day chart. That's what I look for. You've got to figure out what works for you. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Let's keep on going. Johnny Boy, ACHE. Okay, I have no idea who that is. Luis Beauchamp. Good evening, Beauchamp. Okay, check MP. We'll have to check it out tomorrow. Anonymous Truther. Interesting name. Open RCAT. Explain to me what RCAT means. Okay. Are they stocks? Open. Is that a stock? RCAT. Is that a stock? I have no idea. Okay. Shohil Jut Intel. We'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. Black Hills Corporation. We'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. Do you think about Kraft Heinz? We looked at it earlier. It was a no earlier. Do you believe in semi-efficient market theory? Never heard of it, Mr. Man, but thank you. What was your best trade of your life? Don't remember. Sorry. BRZE. Let's take a look at it tomorrow. Yeah, baby. Let's get rich. Okay, I'm not quite sure about that, but okay. All right, some more questions. What do we have here? Intel. I got me some Intel. Newsmax. I don't know. SMCI. Oh, we'll take a look at that one tomorrow. Okay. Who is your broker? That would be Charles Schwab. Good stocks to scalp. Okay, VRTX, never heard of them. Okay, thoughts on NOV. Okay, how often do you do this? Michelle, I do it every single night, not Friday night, not Saturday night, but every night other than that. Good stocks for scalping is a whole bunch. Jarf, selling covered calls only or sell puts too? I sell put. I do a lot of trading strategies. I do, but I only teach one here. Okay, John Martin, do I do covered calls on Intel? Well, yeah, I own Intel now, and I do have covered calls on Intel. All right, so what do we have over here? All right, James, I'm saying, do you mind sharing any other buys you made today? Dylan, how are you? Do you mess with, what the hell kind of a question is that? The trolls need to go away. Thank you, Lisa. All right, I gotta get rid of that dude. Okay, let's get rid of him totally. That works. All right, got rid of that dude. Would now be a good time since it's at the top of its range? John, we can take a better look at Intel tomorrow. Have you done calls on SPY? No, Bishop, I don't do SPY. Okay, the reason why I don't do SPY is like $500 a share, number one, and number two, they're not consistently profitable. So why would I put my money there? Okay, Tommy, thank you. Missed some questions. Do you ever sell with a strike lower than the purchase if the premium makes up for the difference? Absolutely. It's always going to be a numbers game. Who asked that question? 110 Beast, 110C Beast. Yeah, it's always going to depend on the numbers. What did I buy it for? What am I selling? So your goal that your option gets called away by the end of the week. Yep. Thanks for passing along your knowledge, TD. You're welcome. Laughing my ass off. What a legend. Your strategy changed my life. Hey, 110C Beast. Love to chat with you, brother. Always love to hear good stuff. YO Clip. Do you look at percentage chances of profit on your option trades? Are you trying to say, do I add another step to the equation? Okay, when I'm doing the covered call, I see what the profit is. Once you take the profit and you divide it by the investment, that gives you a rate of return for the week. At that point, and only at that point, do I decide whether or not to do the trade. Because even though the chart may look great and the numbers may look great, is everything flowing? Remember rule number 5? Make sure the numbers work. Is it in my favor? It's a yes or a no. How often do you scan the 300 dividend stocks? Once a year? Jar, if you like that, how often do I scan them? Once a year. Once it's a yes, the only way it can turn into a no is if it stops increasing its profits. So if I update the list once a year, it's like every year at the beginning of the year, Dividend Kings List 2025. Well, I compare it to the Dividend Kings List 2024. Well, what has changed? They're either consistently profitable or they're not. And if they're not, they get tossed off the list. And then something else gets added. It's an ever-going process because companies keep going over and over and over again. YO, yeah, Robinhood provides percentage chance of profit for each strike price. I shoot between 75 and 80. Okay, that makes sense. Let's keep on keeping on. Okie dokie. Oh, wait a minute. Okie Lodi. Okay. So do you look for weekly highs over a time span and lows and so on? No, just the 30-day high, the 30-day low. Because by looking at the 30-day high and the 30-day low, you get a good idea of what the other investors are doing. Because if you like a stock, well, usually the same people like the same stocks. And they buy and sell, and they buy and sell, and they buy and sell. Well, if it's high, I don't want to buy it. If it's too low, well, I want it to bounce off the bottom. Okay? If it's bouncing off the bottom, I jump in and I take it for a very short ride, get my 1 or 2%, jump out, fine. The next time it does it, because that's all they do. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. That's it. I want to go for a ride, and I only want to go for a short ride. The older I get, the less of a ride I want to go. I would prefer predictability and safety over big profits any day of the week. What about ASO? Okay, we'll take a look at that tomorrow. Viking Cruise Line, we'll take a look at tomorrow. How about CloudStrike? We'll take a look at it tomorrow. How did you lose 20,000 if Target went up 16 bucks? 110 Sea Beast, I'll tell you what. I bought Target at 135. It dropped down to 102. I sold somebody the rights to buy it from me at 107. And then the damn thing shot up 16 bucks. So the person I sold the right to buy it from me at 107 decided they want to buy it at 107. And now it's $16 higher. So now I have to buy it back $16 higher so that I can deliver it at 107. That's how I lost about 20, whatever it was. What pair are you? I don't pair. APLD. Wyco, let's take a look at it tomorrow. We're past 11. I just want to finish up whatever questions we have. How do you feel about Pony? Hell no. Coles. I bought some Coles this morning. That's right. What percentage success do you have? I've done over 1,000 trades this year, and I think I've lost 4 or 5 times. Tilray. Never heard of it. XRP. Hell no. Scotty Young. Thanks, James. See you tomorrow. See you too. You guarantee 20% next year? If yes, how? Well, look at it this way. Okay? I will guarantee anyone 20%. You want to invest with me? Fine. I guarantee you 20%. Anything over that, I keep. But you're guaranteed 20%. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people love that idea. What time did I start your lives? Right around 8:30, 9 o'clock. What's the best stocks to get started, covered calls with less than $500? Lexman, Florida. I would love to be able to tell you which one. I know absolutely nothing about you. It would be a disservice to tell you anything. No nickname. Back again, huh? TLRY. I'm going to say no. Oh, good Lord. Geez, really? Stocks. Wait a second. Wait. Stocks can go up or they can go down. Yeah, no kidding, Adam. TLRY, yep. PLTR, do I cash out tomorrow? Say, Bill, I don't know anything about that trade whatsoever. I cannot tell you anything on what to do. Okay, Jaco, I love the idea of Tesla. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I want to jump into it because they don't have any dividends. If they don't have dividends, how do I know when is the right time to buy it? Do I trade gold? No, I do not. And the reason why I don't trade gold is because I don't know if there's a safe way to get weekly cash flow from it. Unless, of course, I do gold futures. And they're not as consistent and predictable as I would like. Dylan, yeah, block the kid, please. As far as I know, everything he's writing is blocked. Okay, it says message deleted by the 10-MinuteTrader. View deleted message. So someone's already. So I gave someone the authority to delete trolls, and apparently that's what they're doing. Do you like Microsoft this week? Mike Sweeney will take a look at it tomorrow. How long do you have to own a stock to get the dividends? 2 days minimum. Thoughts on gold price this year? Okay. Too damn rich. I don't do gold. I thought I already told that. Florida hockey. He doesn't trade commodities. Dividend stocks only. Thank you, sir. Never sell another covered call if the stock goes down. Zero liver. Not quite sure. Okay? Not quite sure what you mean by that. So lemonade, I'm not 100% sure you understand the way it works. Okay? When you lend money to someone or when you invest in someone, they give you a rate of return. So when someone invests in my company, I guarantee them 20% return. Brad, wait, so you're willing to trade for us and give us a guaranteed 20%? Brad, it's not what I said. I said I would guarantee you 20%. You invest in my company and I will guarantee you a 20%. However, I don't take anyone's money. Okay? You would actually have to come here and meet me in person. Go out for lunch, have a chat, see if we get along. I don't invest for just anyone. Okay? I'm very picky on whose money I take. And trust me when I say, if you do not talk to me on the phone or live, it's most likely not me. Because there are people out there trying to scam you. I don't do WhatsApp. I don't do Snapchat. I don't do Telegram. I don't do anything other than phone calls, which means you send me your phone number. Yes, I am in Florida. You send me a phone number and I will give you a call and we will have a chat. This is not for everyone. It's slow. It's boring. It's pitifully monotonous. But guess what? It's also predictable. It's also consistent. That's what I'm looking for. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. That's what I'm looking for. That being it, I'm going to call it for a night. Lemonade, we'll talk to you another day. If you want to chat, DM me. Don't put your number here. Send me a DM or an email with your number. I will personally call you back. That being said, we are done. All right, so catch you guys later over here. And now... And now, no, and right there. Here we go. And now, Tronox. Ari Tronox. We'll have to take a look at that another day. Lizzie, you're welcome. Have a great day. Done over here. Stop broadcasting. There we go. And over here, you guys have a great night. Bum, bum, bum. And we are done. And we are, oh, it's not though, Chan, not quite sure what you mean. VXS, this ain't even live, is it? Chan, yes it is. Thank you for showing me what Comcast would look like. You're welcome. ROST, good evening. BBAI, we looked at that already. What about Coca-Cola? Have to do tomorrow. How much are you down on the year? I'm not, I'm up on the year. Safe options are low. He's not even reading this chat. Thank you, Chan. Why? Why what? 6 platforms he's chatting with. Absolutely. Thank you, Dylan. Carly Dean. Hi. BBI. Shan. Carly, good evening. There is a better life for you than being a troll. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks for sharing the wisdom. You're welcome. Thanks again for all the valuable info. Have a good night. Alan, have a great night. And thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. How many more questions do we have? Oh, guys, invest in ETFs. Okay, big bro, I'm going to say no. I don't like ETFs. The numbers just aren't as good. And if you take an ETF, dissect it, well, why not just buy the same stocks as the ETF and get a better rate of return? Just a thought. Chan. 1 minute of listening to this guy, you can tell he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Hey, Chan, thank you very much. Love a troll. Big bro, he doesn't even have 1 mil. Well, alrighty then. Chan, he makes 50% a year. If you're not happy with that, then leave. Thank you, Dylan. He is selling us something. What am I selling? I ain't selling anything. Can you take a look at Kraft Heinz? Okay, Megas, we can take a look at that tomorrow. Dylan, put down the Kool-Aid and use your brain. Thank you, Chan. 50% of what? Okay, so Chan, 50% of what? Let me think. Okay, if you got 20,000, 50% of 20,000 is 10,000. If you have 50,000, 50% of 50,000 is 25,000. If you have 1 million, 50% of 1 million is 500,000. It's simple math. 50% is 50%, or also known as 1/2. Have a great night, Alan. You too. Thanks for the valuable lesson. You too. George, he's selling, I'm not selling knowledge. I'm giving it away for free. Well, actually, I'm kind of selling it because you're trading your time for it. Knowledge you guys aren't buying. Shows your character. I'm not quite sure, George, if I should take that as a compliment or not. I'm still working over here with Mr. Chan. Dylan, thank you, Dylan. Chan, Dylan, how much have you made this year following James? Okay. Big bro, he doesn't even invest for retirement, and he's trying to give advice for trading. 90% of trades lose money long term, 90% quit first year. Thank you, big bro. I love positive people. George, it's a compliment. I mean, no one takes time to listen. Basically, yeah. They should really change the name of common sense because it's not very common. Brad, how long do you plan to continue running your company? I'm interested, but I'm curious your long term. Okay, Brad, I am creating this for my children and my grandchildren. Now, my grandson's 5 years old. Okay, so I'm doing this for the long haul. Okay, George, we left common sense with COVID, and I'm 19 saying that. Ooh, way to go, George. Okay, UVV, can you look at this? We'll have to look at it tomorrow. Okay, Chan thinks he's funny. Okay. Come on, Dylan. All right. You said, no, you should be rich, right? I am rich. I started his strategy last week. Can you flip the camera, please? It's inverted, my man. Yeah. Seleth, if you know how to invert or mirror the camera on YouTube, let me know. Brad, fair enough. Thank you for your insight. Thank you, Brad. So you are an investor or day trader? I don't think I fit in either one of those categories. Okay, I like to think of myself as a weekly trader. So I usually buy on Mondays. I like to be out by Fridays. You shouldn't show your daughter on the internet. Well, I'm terribly sorry, dude, but that video has been on the internet for 15 years. You wouldn't recognize her today. Today, she's taller than me. Okay? There's creeps. All right. So, Chan, so nothing, right? Chan, I have no idea what you're talking about. Seleth, we don't think there is a way to do so. Flip the image, UNC. I have no idea what that means. The trolls are out in full force tonight. Joshua, you're right. This is one of the reasons why I don't read a lot of what's going on in YouTube. Mercer, learned his strategy 10 weeks ago and have been profitable every week. Mercer, way to go. Cool beans. Excuse me. How long have you been in the industry for? Okay, George, I'm not in the industry. It's just a hobby for me. TDUSA, to educate yourself, do a focus on learning to buy covered calls. That's a great idea. How much you make this week, Dylan? Roast. Chan, I made over 2% in one trade so far. Percentage is irrelevant. Okay, Chan, I'm going to have to disagree with you. Okay? So let's say, hypothetically, you make $5,000 and I make $5,000. Same week, 5 days. You make 5,000, I make 5,000. Same amount of money, right? Well, what if your 5,000 you made with, say, 5 million? So that's like 0.1%, 0.1. And let's say he had 50,000 and he made 5,000. Well, he made a 10% return and you made a 0.01% return. So who is the better trader? It's really irrelevant because we're all on separate journeys. So it doesn't really matter what you make and how much you make or what percentage you make. What it comes down to, are you okay with what you are doing? Does it make sense for you? That's not a strategy. That's a general good rules. Okay. How much money? Okay. But if you listen, most of our profits are on Friday. Never sell at a loss. I wish. Well, Stevie, it just makes sense. Think about it. Okay. If the stock goes down, whatever you do, if it goes down, if you buy it for 100, it drops down to 50 and you sell it at 50, you just made a conscious decision to take that loss. So if you bought it at 100 and it drops to 50, you take that loss. Great. Well, let's say I did the exact same thing. I bought it at 100, it drops down to 50, but I don't sell. Well, I continue to collect dividends every single quarter. And if I do it right, I can continue to get premiums every single week. So no, I don't take losses because it just doesn't make sense to me. The Drop Podcast. This is and active for poor people. Oh, this is and advice for poor people. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means, but okay. 100,000 would make 2% of that would be 2,000. So listen up, kiddo. Dylan, you're right. Do not follow it. You will not win or beat the odds. OT gain rapid wealth here. I have no idea what that means. The collateral alone on these plays are risk by itself for just 1 or 2% gain. All mixed up. You're absolutely 100% right. But it's always going to be dependent upon how do you define risk. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, okay, you got a couple of 100,000 in your retirement account. Where do you think that money's going to go? Seriously, it's a serious question. If you have money in your retirement account, where is it actually sitting? Is it sitting in an ETF? If it's in an ETF, it's actually in a stock because that stock is separated into a whole bunch of that ETF is into a whole bunch of different stocks. Is it in an index? Well, the index is a bunch of different stocks, a bunch of different companies. It always comes back to the same thing. The money is sitting somewhere. So what is the risk-reward ratio? Okay, how much money are you willing to put up to get a rate of return? Alan, if I get 1% of return a week on $300,000, I'm good at $3,000 a week. Well, I'd be good at $3,000 a week too, Alan. Okay, it's all relative. It's all what you're concentrating on. What are you looking at? 1% a week is 1% a week, no matter which way you look at it. George, how can I get more knowledge from you? Just keep coming back every night. I'm here every night. Big Bo, yada, yada, yada. How much money do you have? It ain't none of your damn business. How's that? I'm not asking you for any of yours. I'm just showing you what I do. You're here taking your time to listen to what I say. So listen, don't listen. It's your choice. Chan is laughing his ass off. Good for you, Chan. Selef, 2% annum, though. Well, I like 1% per week. I take 2% per week. That works for me. Well, that's a follow. Thank you. Brad, do you trade on margin? Yes, I do. Mitch, are you making 2% per week or 8% per month? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Keep on keeping on. Big bro, 1 mil. I have no idea I know what it means, but 1 mil question mark, what does that mean? George, so you enter a trade on Monday and out by Friday. In a perfect world, yes, George. Does it always happen that way? No, not necessarily so. I might buy on Monday, and by Thursday or Friday, I might take a look at the odds and probabilities and decide to push it out until next week if the market maker offers me more money. Yeah. $100,000 long Solana. Okay, Chad, you have fun with that one. You made nothing, right, Dylan? There you go. Dylan, Seleth, that is this week. Seleth, if it's truly weekly, that's wild. DSN, functional trading fitness. Why do you delude religious people? Keep going about money, money, money. That's all you talk about. Okay, dysfunctional trading fitness. The topic of conversation is money, 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 money. Okay? What are we talking about? Money, money, money for how long? 2 hours a day. Well, there's 22 other hours a day. Why aren't you concerned about what I'm talking about or thinking about in the other 22 hours of my day? Jan, Guy hasn't said one actionable thing yet. I wasn't asking you to do anything. We have trolls that need to be blocked. Yeah, more than likely. Can we look at ROST? I'm done with looking at stuff for the night. Okay, I'm on at 8:30. I'm done at 11. I'm just going through some of the questions. What's your strategy if you have time? George, show back up tomorrow. We'll do that. Sounds more like Mr. Krabs. when he say money, 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 money. What's your strategy if you have time? George, we'll talk about it tomorrow if you don't mind. What are your thoughts on applied materials? John, I like applied materials. Okay, we can look at ROST tomorrow. Would you invest in Rivian? No, it's not even 20 years old yet. Wholly by trade. I have no idea what that means. Do functional trading fitness because you need money is in this life? Yeah, I'm going to agree with Dylan. We're the only species on the planet that's got to pay to live here. And to the degree in which we want to have a lifestyle, it would be directly related to how much money we have to pay for that lifestyle. So yeah, unfortunately, money is important. I'll be here tomorrow. When do you usually start? Around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Dylan, he likes to teach and he's giving financial freedom. Yep. If you're not interested, you're in the wrong place. Did you buy his course, Dylan? Would you invest in Rivian? Okay, I already said no to Rivian. It's not over 20 years old yet. And Chan, I have not said or even tried to sell anything to anyone. Oh, I'll see you. Have a good night. You too. Alfie, are you LeBron James? No. Chan, you aren't as dumb as I thought you were. Thank you, Chan. Drop podcast. You can't have financial freedom without at least $100,000 investing money. Well, it depends on how you live. All right, I'm going to disagree with you because it depends on how you live. Okay, you can get a camper and go out camping, and you don't need a whole shitload of money. Thanks for your insight, Brad. You're welcome. So selleth. Yeah, I could live very comfortably on 100 grand because 100 grand is $1,000 a week. And if you set up your account right, that's $1,000 a week tax-free if you set up your account right. Okay, how can you start growing capital now? Okay, Dylan, we can talk about that tomorrow. Chan, what was your best trade of your life? I don't know. I think it was like 17,000 in one day. Yeah, if you don't start with a lot of capital, you're not going to make much capital, period. Yeah, no kidding. That's like the stupidest things anyone ever said. If you don't start with a lot, you're not going to make a lot. Well, that's not necessarily so. Okay, my grandson's 5 years old. He's starting his trading account with $50. Where do you think he's going to be when he's 65? Oh, time to retire. Tons of videos, blah, 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 blah. Going into the trade, you should already know where you're going to pull price 1, price 2, price 3, etc. Poncho, I'm going to agree with you 100%. But you know what's safer than that? A covered call. Because you know what your profit's going to be beforehand. Does the stock have to move? No. Depending on which option strike you sell, the stock doesn't have to move at all. What you're talking about is the stocks do have to move. Chan, I'm listening. He hasn't said anything good. Okay. Not quite sure what you consider good, Chan, because you haven't actually contributed anything in a positive manner. Brad, I use Merrill for my margin account. How do you like Schwab? Recommend any other platforms, Webull? Now, Brad, I use Thinkorswim, which is through Charles Schwab, and I also use Robinhood. I love Robinhood. It's right at my fingertips. It's simple. It's easy. I can do it on the go. Lisa, I had to leave for a few minutes. I'm back. Lisa, we're just getting ready to leave, which most people can't do. Okay. Starting a business is a way, way better chance of making money or generating wealth and capital over just taking your paycheck to a wage job and investing it. Okay, so drop podcast. I'm going to agree with you. Profits are better than wages. Where are you getting your profits from? You're talking about starting a business. Great. Well, how much money are you investing in this business? It's a good, solid question. And what kind of return are you expecting to get? And how long are you expecting it to take from you to start the business to get to that income or to get to the place of financial independence? It's an interesting question. Okay, drop podcast. I'm kind of curious. What are the numbers? Okay, if you're going to start a business, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Great. How much is X amount of dollars? Well, if you can do the fast food business, well, I believe Taco Bell last time I checked was 450,000. Last time I checked. Okay, last time I checked on McDonald's, I think it was like 5 million, and they usually have a 3 to 5% return on cash. So you put 5 million, you get a 3 to 5% return. For some people, that's okay. Lisa, okay, you got that one. Chan, he said it goes up, down like no shit. Okay, Chan, I'm still waiting for a halfway decent question. They're too poor. Okay, not quite sure. Would you invest in Rivian? I already said no. Oh, Boogie's 24. Do I like any of the yield mac funds? Absolutely not. Take a good look at the rate of return and the yield that they offer. And how long have they been consistently profitable? Mitch, what is your average monthly percentage return for the year? I average it on a weekly basis. And at the moment, it's 1.4% a week is my average for this year. Chan, what is your P&L for the year? I'm not quite sure what a P&L has to do with what I'm saying. Is what I'm saying correct or is it incorrect? P&L's got nothing to do with verifying whether or not what I'm saying is correct or not. Seleth. Starting a business is a way different skill than investing. Seleth, you do realize that didn't answer any of the questions I asked. Okay, I have started businesses before. I started one business with $55 and I sold it for, I don't know, I think it was 120, 130. It's more likely to give someone wealth and financial freedom. Again, Drop Podcast didn't answer the question, but okay, average Joe ain't starting a business but can invest. So, Seleth, I'm going to agree and disagree. Okay, anyone can take $5, $10, $15, $100, whatever you can afford, and put it aside and invest it on a weekly basis. Anyone can do that. Whether or not they choose to do that is a different story. Mark Reed, your video is reversed. And I understand it's reversed. Okay, until someone shows me how to unreverse it, it's stuck the way it is. James Haggerty, what advice can you give to a newbie who wants to invest $1,000? Okay, James, I can't give you any advice at all. I know absolutely nothing about you. If you want to send me your phone number, I can give you a call. We can chat. That way I have a better idea to give you a more quality answer. Okay? All right. Panday, sir, if I want to become a stockbroker, what do I have to do? Go to a stock brokerage company and ask them how to do that. I have no clue how to do that. Hey, it's the Divvy guy. Hey, Wealth Length, how you doing today? Brad, what percentage of your retirement are you trading gains? 1.4%. We dabble, but contribute most to 401k. Okay, not wrong with that at all. 100% of my retirement account is being traded actively every single week. I have no money in reserve. Well, I have a few $1,000 in reserve, but that's about it. That's for emergencies. Seleth, Dylan, not being a dick, but it's like 2 buttons to fix. UNC needs to look into it. Hey, Seleth, if you can tell me which button it is, because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons on here that allows me to manipulate the camera. Great. Which one is it? Chan's still laughing, thinks it's funny. Horrible advice. It's a funny thing, because Chan, I didn't give any advice. Thoughts on PLTR? Take a look at the numbers. TC, I just opened up my first investment account. Cool beans. Hey, I have a question. Luna, go ahead. Anna, facts. Okay. Selef, why stop Ed daily? Why not 5 minutes? Why not 1 minute? Okay, Selef, let me explain something to you in a manner you might understand. Okay? I have no desire whatsoever to sit in front of my computer and watch this stupid thing all day. Okay? 10 minutes a day, that's all I spend. What did I buy it for? What did I sell it for? What's that now? What does it mean? What do I do? That's it. Okay? If you keep in mind the 5 rules, rule number 1, never buy something you don't want to hold on to. Well, that makes sense. Number 2, never settle at a loss. That makes sense too. Number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Well, that makes sense too. Number 4, weekly options only. Well, that makes sense too. And number 5, make sure the numbers work. Everything I just said, the 5 criteria and the 5 rules, well, they all make sense to a 9-year-old, and that's who it was created for. It's adults that have a tendency to mess things up and to make it more complicated. Ishmi Amor, how are you today? This week you made 3%. Cool beans. That's awesome. I don't know what I made yet. Luna, you have a question. Can I pay you for mentorship? Rebo, send me your number. We'll chat. Best profit trade of my life. I think, like I said, it was 12 or 17,000. Rebo wants to get scammed. Thank you, Chan. Luna, I have a question. You've said that 4 times. What's your question? Unk, what's your personal opinion on Bitcoin as a whole? At some point, it will be widely accepted everywhere. At some point. Not at the moment. And they have a minor, it's not a minor problem, it's a major problem. Okay, what happens to those coins that are bought by people that lose access to that coin? I'll give you a perfect example. I know of someone who actually owned some Bitcoin and died. And nobody knows how or where his cold wallet is. So those coins that he had are irrelevant now. They no longer exist because you can't access them. And there are a lot of people out there like that. They get a coin, they hold on to it, and then something happens to them and it disappears forever. Because once you lose that wallet or access to that coin, it becomes useless and it becomes worthless. Because the person who died is the only person who had access to that cold storage wallet. So what good does those coins do? What good are they? They're in a storage unit that nobody can access. Okay, what else do we have? Luna, you said you have a question 5 times. Ask the question already. Chan, then ask Luna, you don't have to announce it 10 times. Well, Chan, you've actually said something that's constructive. Rebo, don't listen to this guy. He sold me meth in the 7-Eleven bathroom. Rebo, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. That's like the stupidest thing I've heard. One of the stupidest things I've heard. All right. N. If you only had 3 indicators to trade with, what would they be? Consistency of profitability, weekly options, and EX dividend date. Those are the 3. Sucks at charts, but at least good math. Oh my God. Luna, all right. Riven, already said no. Daily moving average, volume, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Seleth, you do what works for you, okay? I'm a simple person, okay? I come from a time frame where if it works, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't mess with it. It just makes sense to me. O'Sheen's taxes, at the money or out of the money calls or puts. It's all going to be a numbers game. What am I buying it for? What direction is it going? What makes the most sense? What is the safest trade? That's it. James, what advice would you give with a newbie with $1,000? Keep learning. Kasem, do you wait for a pullback to get into a trade, or do you jump in as soon as the market opens when trading calls and covered calls? Case, it's always going to be a numbers game. What direction is it going? What does it look like? What makes sense? Each trade is similar but different. Calibri, good evening. Haven't seen you for a while. Do I need level 1 or level 2 approval on Thinkorswim? It's level 1 because you're just doing covered calls. That's it. To a million. What platform do you trade on? Thinkorswim. I'd advise to go anywhere else but here, James. Thank you, Chan. That's very nice of you. Is UNC multi-streaming, or is this a rerun because he ain't talking to UA? Who the heck is UA? All right, anyway. Chan, he's just strung out. Is it correct that the day before the EX date is the last date to get the dividend? Yes. Okay, Brad, the EX date is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid out. So if you want to collect the dividend, you got to buy it before the EX date. What app can a beginner start trading low amounts? I would do something with fractional shares, because fractional shares allows you to invest small amounts of money. SPY, not consistent. No, Selef, it's not. Seriously, you think SPY is consistent? Take a look at the dividends that SPY has paid over the last 20 years. Last 20 years, are they consistently increasing? No, they aren't. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. Okay, SPY is not something I invest in because the numbers just don't work. Wavelength, MCHP. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm just answering questions. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm answering questions about dividend investing. Can you sell options on an index? Some of them you can. John, wow, it seems like there are some crazy people on here tonight. Yep, John, there are. What app can you do fractional shares on your phone? I like to use Robinhood, but check out the other ones. Check out as many as you need to find out which one works best for you. What do I think of futures options? Well, it depends. What is your strategy and what are you looking to do? O'Sheen's taxes. So take a look. What are you looking to do? What is your strategy and can you be successful at it? Do I sell options on an index? No, I do not. Oh my goodness. Seth and Chan both think, what a stupid statement. Oh my goodness. See, now I gotta let's call this coming out of retirement to show, what is it? Chan and Selef. They both think that SPY is consistently profitable. Well, let's prove them wrong. Whoops, I want to go right there. Right there. SPY. Here we go. Now, where I'm at now, this is called the Yahoo Finance. It gives you financial information about different stocks. So we're looking at this moment in time, because I got a couple of trolls, and I like proving trolls wrong. I do. Trolls are kind of like a waste of my time, but guess what? I'm in the mood to waste some time. So, Mr. Chan and Mr. Seleth, are you ready for this? So this is Spider S&P 500 ETF, SPY. See that? We are looking at historical data. Now, historical data basically means the date, the opening price, the high of the day, the low of the day, the close of the day, the volume. Every single opening, closing, high, low performance of a stock is in the historical data. What else is in there? The dividends. The dividends only. So I want to take a look at every single dividend SPY has paid over the last 20 years. Because remember, I said I want 2 decades of profitability. So Mr. Chan and Mr. Seleth, are you ready? Here we go. Let's go back to 2005. Here we go, 2005, right here, May 18th. 2005. The dividend, May 18th, 2005, 46.7 cents. 46.7. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. These aren't my numbers. I'm just reading them. 2025, 46.7, 48, 52, 67, 51. Hold the phone. Holy shit. Did that just go backwards? Look. 56. Sorry, that's 2004. 46, 48, 52, 67, 51. I'm terribly sorry, but where I went to school, 51 is less than 67. Do you have something smart ass to say? That went backwards. From 67 to 51, that is backwards. I don't care how you want to look at it. I don't care how you want to spin it. Okay? If the amount went down, that means they weren't profitable that week or that month or that quarter or whatever the hell it is. 67 to 51. That's just once. But hold on, because it actually gets worse. It really does. Let's watch. Okay, so March 17th, 2006, it went down. Okay, 51. Okay, 55, 57, 79, 55. Holy shit! It did it for a second time. It went backwards. It went down twice. But hold on. It gets worse. It really does. Hold on. Okay, 79, 55. That's backwards twice. 65, 71, 77. 77. Okay, 77. 64. That's 3 times. 66, 69, 71, 56. There's 4 times. 51. There's 5 times. 50. There's 6 times. 59, 48. There's 7 times. And we're only at 2010. We got to go all the way to 2025. And we're at 7 times this piece of crap went backwards. And you are telling me I'm imagining it, that it doesn't go up and down? Okay, where I went to school, 71 is higher than 56. 56 is higher than 51. 51 is higher than 50. Higher than 48. The numbers are consistently going down, down, down. So if the dividend is going down, 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 so is the profit. Because the dividend is a portion of the profit. It's a mathematical equation. It's a certain percentage. A certain percentage of the profit gets passed down to the investors as a dividend. If the dividend increases, so does the profit. If the profit increases, so does the dividend. It's locked together, hand in hand. Profits go down, dividends go down. Profits go up, dividends go up. I don't understand why you two guys don't understand that. You think you're all high and mighty, and you think I'm full of BS and a lot of hot air. Well, you're saying shit, and you can't back it up. I can back up what I'm saying. Okay? 66, 69, 71. Higher, higher, higher. Okay? 71, 56. That's lower. 51, that's lower. 50, that's lower. 48, that's lower. If you got something to say, make sure you can back it up. But wait, it actually gets worse. It really does. So let's, for the fun of it, go over to the summary and find out what the summary for SPY is. Okay, now the summary will give you a good idea of all the numbers at this moment in time, bypassing all this stuff. Okay, but the data chain, the data stream, that gives you all the information. Okay, so here we are again. SPY ETF. Yield. Do you understand what the yield is, you two boneheads? Okay, you two boneheads, the yield right here, 1.13% for the year. 1.13% for the year. How can you possibly tell me SPY is a good investment? Come on, I'm waiting for your reply. Year-to-date total return, 10.44%. If I'm looking at 1% every single week, we are in week number 34 for the year. 1% a week, 34 weeks. That's 34%. This thing is only at 10.4. So let's see what kind of smart-ass remarks these two boneheads have. Let's get comfortable. All right. You mean you aren't consistent? Okay. Chan, you're right, Rebo. I wish I was an old man who hasn't done shit and waste his time doing YouTube. Pretending to know what I'm talking about. Well, apparently you don't know what you're talking about. Day trading takes tolls. Yes, it does. I don't day trade. Somber Lobster, UPS is looking really good. I looked at it earlier. Seleth, why aren't you a fan of Bitcoin despite its success? Seleth, are you ready for this? Bitcoin doesn't make a product. Bitcoin doesn't have any real money behind it, like gold reserves, oil reserves, or anything to that effect. Bitcoin is nothing more than an agreement between strangers. That's all it is. It is an open ledger book that people write down what they thoughts and wishes are. I think it's $100,000. Oh, I agree with you. I think it's worth $100,000 too. Great. What do they have to back it up? Seriously, what do they have to back it up? Absolutely nothing. All right. AGNC. All right, hold on a second. What do we have for questions here? Brad, good point, but why care so much about the dividend from 20 years ago? No. Brad, I don't care about the dividend 20 years ago. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking at the consistency of increased profits. So if I want 20 years of increased profits, I have two choices. Number one, look at 20 years of annual reports. Read the reports, 20 years of annual reports. See if they're consistently profitable. Well, the answers are right there in the report. Or you can go directly to the dividend. Because if the company made more money this year than they made last year, they're going to give out a higher dividend this year than they did last year. It's just common sense. If I put in 200 and came out with 278, good? Yeah, it sounds like you made a profit. Besim, hey boss, I got a question for you. Ask away. J Love, AGNC. Okay, see, AGNC, I don't trade that anymore only because the premiums just aren't what they used to be. Just doesn't make sense. Rowan, thoughts on OSCR? We'll take a look at it tomorrow. Okay, Jersey, the best guy in the game. I wouldn't say that. Okay, that eye though. DSL, I got stuck in a nail with it. I got a nail stuck in my eye, so don't rub it in. You a swing trader? No. Is this live lemonade? Yes, it is. Bitcoin is the product. I'm well aware of Bitcoin is the product. Really, I am. Answer the question. If you have a Bitcoin and you die and nobody has access to that cold storage wallet, what is that Bitcoin worth? Absolutely nothing. Do I swing trade? Decentralized global network that secures itself. See, DSL, you're saying everything that makes sense. It does make sense. However, at this moment in time, it's still not widely accepted everywhere. The US dollar is, okay? FSLESELX. All right, we'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. Why are you ignoring my question? Okay, Basim, okay? TikTok has filters on it. So if you ask a question with words in it that are filtered out, your question won't go through. So it's not like I'm ignoring your question. Your question is not showing up. Okay. We're just about done. DSL, that helps the other owners by increasing the value if you lock a piece of gold. Oh my God. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do. You're in this new age, you're in this new wave, and you think it's the greatest thing. It just might be. Okay? If you're familiar with trading and you take a look at historical performance, because history has a tendency to repeat itself. In a save and die with only the key, that's the same thing. No, because someone can break into the safe and then it's there. Okay, you can't really break into a cold wallet because you need the password. Safe is a different story because you can cut the safe open. You can't cut open a cold storage wallet. Weird argument to focus on. That's your biggest gripe. Yeah, no. No, my biggest gripe with Bitcoin is I can't go to Dunkin' Donuts and buy some coffee. Okay? I can't go to Dunkin' Donuts and buy some coffee with it. Chan, day trading takes its toll. Yep, we already said that. UPS looks good. Yep. That's it. Okay. I'll take you for a ride. Okay, whatever, Chan. If that's the case, you probably shouldn't be day trading. I don't day trade. Appreciate you, Rebu. You are a real one. Okay. Seleth, nobody is asking these questions. This is a rerun. Walt is your favorite trading strategy, scalping, day trading, weekly, monthly, or everything together. I do a strategy called dividend capturing 2.0. All right, I'm basically done with this nonsense. You guys keep, yeah, oh wow. No, forget it, I'm done. I can scream as loud as your firstborn. All right. Sorry about the Neil. Hey, not a big deal. It happened when I was 17. Do you bring a bar of gold to get your coffee? That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay? I don't invest in gold. You can't get weekly cash flow from gold. Okay? And as far as I know, at this point in time, you cannot get a safe, predictable, consistent return on a weekly basis from Bitcoin either. Why are you back on tonight? I'm on every night. That was your Wicker Man argument for anti-Bitcoin. I didn't say I was against Bitcoin. I just said not at this moment in time. Okay? All right. Yep, so many trolls. We're going to figure out how to get rid of trolls. James, you're like an hour late, dude. Terribly sorry. Does anyone come here for learning? Okay, let's go. Laugh my ass off. Dylan, we cool, whatever. What time do you usually start? Around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Alpha 24, love Coca-Cola. If you're about, okay. What happens after a dip and your premium gets assigned and you don't make enough to make your loss back? What do you do? Number one, you don't sell something below what you paid for it. And if you do, keep an eye on it every single day and set alerts because the alerts are there for free. You just set them and good. You're good to go. Nick, how do you make premiums every week? Are you selling covered calls? Absolutely. FL, how do you invest to get dividends if you don't want to use a financial advisor? FHL, you're relatively new here. It's a simple process. You take every stock that you like and you put it into an EX dividend calendar. The dividend calendar actually tells you when the stock is going to pay its dividend. That's when you take a look at the momentum because most stocks go up in value just before the EX date. Kevo, should have bought UNH like I told you. Okay, Kevo, I don't do what other people tell me to do. I do my own strategy and it works perfectly fine for me. Went on CBOE. It was a great, very useful. How do I narrow it down? Okay, nickel picker, your best bet is to take a look at stocks that have weekly options and then the ones that are consistently profitable. Do I day trade? No, I don't. Should have bought UNH? Yeah. Notice all the Mangione fans, boys flogged UNH, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. What's your highest conviction currently? I have no idea what you mean by conviction. Okay, conviction on what topic? All right, Prince, I'll sub if you play some music. Alexa, smooth jazz. Alexa, smooth jazz. Where the hell did my Alexa go? Damn it, my Alexa disappeared. All right. Shorting is a big word, Patrick. If you mean shorting isn't selling a stock you don't own, no, I don't do that either. Patrick, same here. Is Montreal where you're from? Blah, 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 blah. Thanks, James. Let's get to coffee. Dylan, you can come too. Dylan, Michigan. James is honest. Thank you. James, thank you for your being on. Yeah, hey, I'm too old to remember all lies, so I just don't lie anymore. How do I start trading account for my 3 daughters? Alpha 2A, you want to send me your number? I'll give you a buzz. We can chat. Okay, you put it in 3 separate different accounts. My Alexa just played smooth jazz. Huh? That's funny. All right, it's 11:55. I've been answering these questions for over an hour, for almost an hour. You guys have a great night, and we'll do this again tomorrow.